Hello everyone, Mike Sports Experience. Guys, I love football. I do, but let me tell you what I love more than I love football. I love playoff football. Guys, playoff football is not regular football. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you know this. You know this. This is when we separate the men from the boys. This is a whole different ball game, literally. Everything counts now. Everything counts. Minnesota Vikings 8-3. They have a chance to win their division. They have a chance, I think, still a small chance to get home field advantage in the AFC. Seattle Seahawks 9-2, playing at home. They are chasing the San Francisco 49ers, who they beat last week in what's being called the game of the year. I'm not calling it. I know I'm the Seahawks fan. I'm not saying that. That's what everybody else is saying. It was a game. I don't know if it was the game of the year or not, but it was a very good game. It's a very fun game. And this is really cool. If you're a Seattle fan, this is really cool. ESPN Monday Night Football. They have old school Sonics greats Gary Payton and Sean Kemp dressed up as old Seahawks. Dressed up in old uniforms. Sean Kemp in a Steve Largent jersey with Gary Payton passing to him. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool for sure. What is up, everybody? I don't see anybody out there yet. Where are you, Pete? Look at this divisional leaders. Niners and Saints both 10-2. The Packers 9-3. Seahawks and Vikings right now would be a wild card. Even at 9-2, the Seahawks are a wild card. Minnesota Vikings 8-3. Both teams a game behind in their divisions. So this means so much right now. So much. If you're the Seahawks, you beat the Niners the last game. Now you just have to wait for the rest of your team to get it done. You know, Giovanni and Clowney is back for this Seattle defense. And this Seattle defense, once again, I would say starting to earn that name, the Legion of Boom. And it's not just Giovanni Clowney. They have rookies on this team. They have young guys. This defense is starting to get sacks. They're starting to create turnovers. They're putting tremendous pressure on quarterbacks. This is not a one-man team. This is not just a Russell Wilson-led Seattle Seahawks anymore. And let's talk about Russell Wilson going through this, just 2 interceptions to right around 30 touchdowns for the season. The leader in the MVP race right now, Russell Wilson, really looking to have the best season of his career. And that's saying a lot, being he's already been to 2 Super Bowls, won one of them. And he is an excited guy. He means so much to this Seattle Seahawks team. I will tell you that much for sure. He is the leader. Him and Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, though, you got the oldest coach in the league. in Pete Carroll, and you have young guys coming in here saying, I want to play for Pete Carroll. I want to be tutored under Pete Carroll. And this guy is he's doing more than just teaching these guys how to play football. He's really taking an old school approach of really taking on the task of creating a community, creating a family, and taking these boys that come in. I say boys, for me, 22, 23 young men, taking them under his wing and really teaching them how to be men. Not just how to be football players, how to be leaders, how to be good husbands, how to be good fathers, how to be good community leaders. It's really, I just think there's really something special going on over there. And a guy I've criticized a lot in the past, a lot of us have, and that's Bill Belichick. The guy never has a smile on his face. But one thing players have said about him is he creates this sense of community. And it's really something, I don't think Pete Carroll's trying to copy it, but because it's been definitely much different than what maybe Bill Belichick does, but guys are wanting to play for Pete Carroll right now, the way that in the past maybe they wanted to play for Belichick. And I mean that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. Obviously, we're not getting everybody on here yet. I'm going to go live over on Fights with Friends for a minute here, too. If you guys are watching that, or MMA with Friends, that is my main channel. And I'm going to go over there for a few minutes as well. I'm going to stay here, but I'm going to be live on 2 channels. For just a minute, try to get some of our friends over here. All right, and next. All right, and we are live on 2 channels temporarily. We're going to cut this one, but I'm just going to go over there and guilt trip people into coming over to this stream. What's going on, everybody? It is Monday Night Football. Are you ready for some football? What's going on, Greg Brimstone, or a Seahawker for the evening? A loss for Minnesota helps the Detroit, so I'm on the Seahawk bandwagon tonight. Hey, we will take you, my friend. How you been? Trying to get some people over from Fights with Friends. Look over there. I don't know if anybody's watching yet, or if anybody's too many people are interested in the game tonight. But man, there are so many playoff implications right now. Lions are looking good right now too. They're right in there. They're right in there to be looking good in the playoffs. Seahawks 9-2, Vikings 8-3 tonight. I think this is going to be a great game. I'll tell you what, Greg, I did not expect Kirk Cousins to be playing at this level this season, to be leading the Minnesota Vikings, into first place in the wild card position within striking distance of the division. I just wasn't sold on Kirk Cousins. And he's had a great season. Everybody expected Russell Wilson to have a great season. But Kirk Cousins has had a great season. And I got to admit, I'm a little surprised. I really am. And here come the Vikings. This is in Seattle, one of the loudest crowds. in the entire NFL. As I was saying earlier, Pete Carroll, a lot of players are starting to come to Seattle to play for Pete Carroll. He is starting to create a community over there in Seattle that did more than just playing football with these young men, more than just going through the drills, going through the plays. He's really making a priority of, having like family time, basically, with their kids, with with their spouses over. And PBR Street Gang, what is up, my friend? PBR Street Gang with the incredible donation there. Thank you very much, sir. Thought we'd try something a little different tonight on the sound effects. Everybody on Fights with Friends, if you are wanting to watch the games tonight, or on MMA with Friends, we'll be switching over to Mike's Sports Experience. I just went over there to guilt trip you guys into coming over here. Not because I'm going to get 1 million views on this, but I wanted to watch the game. I missed you guys, and I thought it'd be cool to all to get together and watch, a good football game with some playoff implications. So that's all. But I'm really getting excited about playoff football. It's I know I've said it, and PBR Street Gang, man, this guy deserves his name in the limelight for sure. He's really been coming through with the super chat. Last couple months, you're like half of my revenue right now, Street Gang. No, just absolutely awesome. Really appreciate you, brother. Doing pretty good, man. Ready for some ball over here. Is Greg Brimstone in here. So I'll be playing a game myself tonight. It's called Drink the Beard. I'm going for the high score. Gotcha. Feel uncomfortable. Another grown man says that. Well, sometimes I make people feel uncomfortable on here, PBR. Oh, that's pretty good. I like it. My dad was not a hugger, so I maybe missed out on some affection as a kid. Too much information, right? But what is going on over there in Fights with Friends land? MMA with Friends. I just can't get away from saying Fights with Friends. Maybe I'm still upset that they made me change my channel name, or didn't make me, highly encouraged me. But looking at the comments over here on MMA with Friends. What's up, Bailey? Good to see you, sir. Tell us more about your phone. You don't really want to know. You just want to, I don't know. I don't trust you. Going on, Comedic Genius. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, guys, I'm going to keep this stream up on MMA with Friends as well for a while. But I'm streaming over on Mike's Sports Experience. So I'm going to put the URL up for that in the MMA with Friends. So, guys, this stream is going to cut. I'll keep it up for a little while. But just to let you know, it will be gone. It will be over there. And here is the link for that. I know you're already subscribed, but just in case. I'm sure you do, Bailey. Go Hawks! What's up, Rock Tumbler? How's it going? So that is the other channel. My father, Baylor. I could tell you a lot about my father. No, we had a, can I see what's on your white wall on the other stream? Nope. I don't even know what's on there myself. Oh, it's my daughter's Halloween thing. I didn't even notice it was on there. It says boo. There's a B at the top and 2 O's. There's no white stream on the other channel. No white wall on the other channel. Roger. What's a PBR? But growing up, my dad, not the most affectionate guy. He was not a hugger, like I said. But on to some football. Minnesota Vikings kicking to the Seahawks. They will receive it just outside of the end zone. Number 25, Tyler Lockett, making it to about the 27-yard line. He is very happy to have another receiver. To have T.J. Metcalf, the rookie, that they picked up this year, the Seahawks, because seems like Lockett was doing everything there for a while. He's the kickoff returner. He's the punt returner. He was quickly becoming their top wide receiver. And here we go, Russell Wilson. He's going to hand it off to Chris Carson, who gets a load of yards here, about 9 yards on the first play of the game. Chris Carson setting the pace here for the 9-2 Hawks. 2nd and 1, 14:40 left in the first quarter. Chris Carson, 888 yards rushing so far this year. 4.2 yards per rush, a great average, 4 touchdowns. And one of the most important things is he's learned, for the most part, how to keep hold of the football. He had been fumbling every single game, like the first 4 games of the season. It looked like that was going to come back last week, and Carson, he gets about another 3 yards right there. I would tell you are a very silly person, Bailey. But I will not kick you off the stream because I only have 8 people watching between 2 combined channels. All right, Chris Carson, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf lining up for the Seattle Seahawks. Notable inactives are Nick Bollar at fullback and the tight end Luke Wilson. Russell Wilson getting flushed out of the pocket. He's going to take it himself, slides for just about 3 yards here. Looks like we're going to be about 2nd and 7 with 13:20 left here in the first quarter. Oh, Jesus. All right, guys, I am going over. If you are still on MMA with Friends, I am going to one channel. So follow the link. I will be over there. Just because a lot of people requested that they're just into MMA. So I'm trying to make one channel that's just MMA and others. And Chris Carson blasting through the line on 2nd and 6. Looks like he might be just a couple of inches short. Top fullbacks out for Seattle, but that looked like a fullback run. I mean, he just jammed the line there. That was very nice. What's up, Experiencer? I'm going to keep this stream open, like I said, for just a little while. Well, maybe until my phone dies over on MMA with Friends, but I am actually on Mike Sports Experience, so hit the link there. 3rd and 1. Russell Wilson, he's going to pitch it to Carson, who gets a stiff arm, and he gets stopped. Great defensive play. Number 29. What a tackle on Chris Carson, and that looked like that might have been helmet to helmet, and he's not moving. This is not looking good for Chris Carson. Let's watch that again. He's being held there. And it was a knee to the head. Wow. From his own from his own teammate, Hollister. Hollister got pushed into him. Hollister knees him in the head, Jorge Masvidal style. And wow, I didn't think we were going to get into three-piece and a soda that early. But damn. Yeah, it's been a while. Good to see you, Experiencer. And Rock Tumbler, go Hawks up. Like I said, big playoff implications tonight. Seattle Seahawks 9-2, Minnesota Vikings 8-3. Both teams looking to move up in that division race. Both teams, I believe, a game behind for their division. So that is interesting. But I love playoff football, and I loved that Seahawks game. That Seattle Seahawks versus the San Francisco 49ers game last week. That was an incredible game. What's going on, 7 in the house? I did have a good Thanksgiving. Thank you, PBR. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you guys got to see some family, eat too much food, and, do things like that. Let's go Seahawks. You already know, says 7. That's right. I mean, I only pretty much broadcast Seahawks football games for a reason, right? Same goes for for everyone else in the chat. Yes, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I had a good Thanksgiving. It was nice to see family. I didn't get to see my parents this time, but I had just seen them a few weeks ago, so that was really nice. I'd gotten out of town for a week, and I haven't done much streaming in quite a while. It's been a month since I've been on the Sports Experience. And then, a lack of some UFC games. We had that boxing match. We had the Deontay Wilder. What's everybody drinking? Cheers. Thank you for the thumbs up, too, by the way. Appreciate it. And this is going to be a 4th and 1. And Seahawks, are they going to have a decision to make? No, they are going to punt it. That's exactly what I would do. And a booming punt from Michael Dixon. It looks like they're going to call for a fair catch, and the Vikings will take over about the 12-yard line. 11:43 left here in the first quarter. And Seattle's Quest Field, now known as CenturyLink Field. I don't really care what the sponsor is. It's Seattle. It's Seahawks Field. It's funny how they change different, change depending on their sponsors. What's going on, Robert Christian? Happy Monday over there on MMA with Friends. Dropping you a link. I'm actually over on the non-MMA channel there, but I'm going to keep this up for a while. Just so everybody knows, you're drinking some truly good beer. And Kirk Cousins connects with number 33. Great pass there from Kirk Cousins. I mean, everything he does, to me, it doesn't look real pretty. Kirk Cousins isn't the guy that I expected to take over the Minnesota Vikings and lead them to the promised land. But he's had a very good season. Fakes the handoff. Seattle rushes him. And number 30, what a move! Spins away from the defense, and he is rumbling, fumbling, stumbling all the way inside the 38-yard line. Looked like he was going to get hit for a loss. Wow, and look at number 30. If you didn't get your ham on Thanksgiving, the Seahawks just got more than they wanted of it right there. Great hit from Ham, and he runs 36 yards to get Minnesota inside Seattle territory. Wow. And there's the run from Delvin Cook, 33, with about 3-4 more yards there. But, wow, what a play by Ham, though. The Seahawks, they look like they had him wrapped up. All right, I'm here. Thank you, Robert Christian. I said, what's up, Pulse Reloaded? We are going over to the other channel in Mike's Sports Experience. Because the one over on MMA with Friends, that is going to, that phone's going to run out of battery eventually. But I just wanted to guilt trip you guys into coming over and chatting with me. Cheers. Kirk Cousins back. How did he get that in there? To Tyler Pondlet, number 83, throws it in double coverage. Kirk Cousins, he doesn't have a beautiful spiral. And, I mean, I guess not to make a pun on plays, but I guess I am going to make a pun. I mean, Kirk Cousins, when the guy throws, he looks like your drunk cousin throwing a football. It's not a solid spiral. It doesn't get a lot of air under the ball, but it gets the job done. He reminds me a lot of Trent Dilfer back in the day. And there is the handoff of jet motion number 14, cutting through to the 20, to the 10, and what a movie cut! And he is slicing and dicing up the Seattle Seahawks defense all the way to the 2-yard line. Minnesota Vikings, 1st and goal. And here he is, Diggs, and the Seahawks defense missing out on some big tackles there and some great plays there from Diggs. Wow. Favored in this matchup. I think the Seahawks are favored by 3.5, I believe, last time I seen. But you get 3 points for being at home. So basically it's even. And the pitch to Cook, and that's a Minnesota Vikings touchdown. Dalvin Cook with the 2-yard touchdown run. And just like that, the Minnesota Vikings put the pressure on MVP candidate Russell Wilson. Hawks are just playing with him like a cat does. Well, they better stop playing. They just gave up a 36 and 37-yard run. Back to back. Now the 2-yard run for the touchdown. What's up, Kendrick Harris? We are going over to the other channel, guys. 8 people watching over here on MMA with Friends, though. Good to see you guys. Sorry I cannot show the game trap. I wish I could, but I will keep you updated on the score, on the time. 8 minutes, 12 seconds left in the first quarter. 7-0 Minnesota Vikings. And just to talk about the world of MMA and fighting for a moment, though, Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, 2 coming up. Andrei Arlovsky taking on Rosenstruck next week. Mark my words, Andrei Arlovsky is going down. Rosenstruck, I believe, will be a challenger for the title. I think Rosenstruck puts him on his face, and I believe that he challenges for the title. All right, and we have more on MMA with Friends still than over on Mike's Sports Experience. When this stream will cut out, so hit that link right there. That's going to take you over to my other channel, which is the non-MMA channel, Mike's Sports Experience. Well, I understand you want to see the damn game trap. It's on ESPN. You can watch along over there. Or maybe you can get some reflection off my glasses. You can try. Some people have said they can see a little bit. So I'll tell you who the favorites are to win the NFL MVP. And that's Lavaris Jackson, who has been an absolute animal. Absolute animal. And then, of course, our Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson. Thank you guys so much for all the kind thumbs up on both channels. Much appreciated. Looks like everybody pretty much in both chats has already hit the thumbs up. Even if somebody just stopped in for a minute, gave me the thumbs up. So, greatly appreciated. And a look of Seattle. They're showing the green and blue Ferris wheel there outside the Space Needle. Even though I live here, I have not been on that Ferris wheel. Well, thank you, Royalty, for the sub. Appreciate it, sir. That's my applause for the game. I got tired of the clapping. We're gonna do a cannon. We'll do multiple cannons for donations, like for PBR Street Gang. It's not good. We are losing. Yes, the game did just start, but damn. Like I said, over if you're on MMA with friends, hit this link here because this stream here will die eventually. My phone will die. I didn't plan on streaming on the phone, but just trying to get people over and show them where we are over here. Russell Wilson back. Gets a completion of number 20. And Chris Carson is standing. That is good news. So he was evaluated for a potential head injury. He indicated he is okay, and he has been cleared to play. He is not in at the moment. But great news for Chris Carson. He has been released to play. Rashad Penny in for him. Getting a couple yards and getting the first down there. A lot of people thought Rashad Penny was going to be the guy. Nani? What do you mean, Nani? Some people thought Rashad Penny was going to be the guy. I've never had a lot of confidence in Rashad Penny, to be honest. So Chris Carson, he took a knee to the head, actually, from one of his own players. Inadvertently, on a play, Russell Wilson fakes the handoff here. And he's getting flushed out of the pocket, and that's going to be a sack. Danielle Hunter, number 99, 6:45 left in the first. And that is a tough guy to sack, but Danielle Hunter, wow. He lives up to his name there, and he gets his prey, Russell Wilson. Let's Cowboys. What's up, Valentin Castrino? Cowboys? What do you mean, Cowboys? All right, here we go. Russell Wilson back. And he's going to catch a swing pass out to Rashad Penny, who's getting, some much appreciated playtime, I'm sure. Gets 7 yards there after the loss for the sack. This is going to create about third and 4. So it was just barely a sack. Wilson just behind the line of scrimmage, but a sack is a sack, especially when you can get it on a great player like that. It was Hollister, the tight end, earlier, that accidentally kneed Chris Carson in the face. Carson back in now. 3rd and 4 with 5:40 left in the first quarter. Russell Wilson back and a pass over the top. And there we go. Josh Gordon reels it in for about 10 yards. That is a 1st and 10 for the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks picked Josh Gordon up off of waivers, and he pays dividends there. And this is really just a mishmash team. DJ Metcalf, one of the highest ranked, standouts. He's a 2nd round draft pick. Chris Carson was a 7th round out of Oklahoma State last year. Even Russell Wilson himself, a 3rd round pick back in the day. And that's number 83 gets taken down. That really looked like a horse collar to me. And I see whistles. That was number 83 Moore running there on the play. And Xavier Rhodes, the defender for the Minnesota Vikings, down after that play. I did not see what was happening. An injury timeout for the Minnesota Vikings. 4:47 left here in the first quarter. Cowboys 2019 Super Bowl champions. I'm not so sure about that, Valentine. I don't think so. I'm going to say my Seattle Seahawks get it done. No, I don't know, but that would be nice. I don't know if they get it done or not, but of course that would make me happy. And still more watching over at MMA with Friends than on the sports channel. So guys, I am over here on Mike's Sports Experience. That's what I'm going to be using for my non-MMA streams. So this stream will cut eventually. If anything, when this phone runs out of batteries. I see people going over now. Thank you. What's up, Zoltan? How's it going, my friend? Good to see you. Who you got, Connor versus Cowboy? Man, I got to tell you, I don't see Connor as a, the 3-1 favorite they're making him out to be. What, he's like a minus 240 out of the gate? I see Cerrone having a very good chance in that fight. Now, here's one thing that you do have to favor Connor some, or at least I do. I don't know if I'd make him as big a favorite as they have so far, but Cowboy's going to stand with him. He's going to give him leg kicks. He's going to do some things that's going to, be awkward and push Connor off balance, but he's also kind of tailor-made for him. Connor has it. Cowboy slow starter. That's a good point. Xavier Rhodes, 2-time Pro Bowl selection. He is being pulled out. He's got to sit out for at least one play because they use an injury timeout anyways. So when he reaches out, and it looked like he horse-collared more, and he actually hurt his own arm on that play. Grabs the lower back. Of Cowboy, because I am one. I like it. All right, Penny in. Rashad Penny, Hollister the tight end, Metcalf, and Lockett at wide receiver. And here we go, and Russell's going to hand it off to Rashad Penny, who cuts through the middle and takes a hit and bounces back. Great job of getting the first down there for Rashad Penny. He is really enjoying this extra time because, like I said, a lot of people thought he was going to be the guy. And then he started getting cut down, was, having really, really poor yards per carry, well under 3. I didn't ever think he was the guy. He's kind of a north-south runner that doesn't get behind his blockers very well. Maybe he's gotten better since then, though. If I had to choose between the two, I'm a Chris Carson guy myself. And Penny in again here. Oh, and he's going to run to the left just as I say he can't cut. He finds a hole. And that's 9 yards and 2nd and 1 for the Seattle Seahawks. 3:30 left in the first quarter. Minnesota Vikings leading 7-0. So, and here we go, almost everybody off of MMA with Friends, and we will just be able to switch over fully. And, great run there for Chris Carson, gets just the yard. Wow, that was quite the collision, but he earned that yard, and that's going to be a first down. First down, Seattle Seahawks. Hey, thank you for the new subscriptions. I noticed the subscriber count jumping up there, so greatly appreciated, guys. And here we go. Carson back in, Hollister, Metcalf, and Lockett for the Seattle Seahawks. And here we go. Russell Wilson back, and he's going to air it up way past DJ Metcalf. Way, way past him. All right, guys, I'm going to put up the link one more time if you're over there on MMA with Friends. And we're going to be over on the Mike's Sports Experience. So it looks like just 2 of you left over there. Everybody's getting it. So all right. Thank you for all the thumbs up on that one. And this one is in. Oh, and here, Russell Wilson going to take it himself. Getting about 6-7 yards there. 7-yard run and a great slide there for Russell Wilson. Vikings use purple. I like Minnesota, though. Great slide there for Wilson. NFL leader in scrambles and scramble yards since 2012. 3rd and 3 for the Seattle Seahawks. And this is kind of why I do this sometimes, guys, is, you know, some of these commentators, seems like they just talk to talk sometimes. Because I remember a commentator saying a few weeks ago that Russell Wilson didn't run the football very often. DJ Metcalf over the middle, and he gets all the way to the 1-yard line. Great play for DJ Metcalf. Wilson to Metcalf, and how many times have we already heard that in this season, Metcalf's rookie season? And wow, what a beautiful route. DJ Metcalf, this guy is a tough guy to stop, and he is just getting better. 3 receivers in, Metcalf, Gordon, but it's going to be Carson that runs it up the middle, and he is going to be stopped. Great wall play there by the Minnesota Vikings. So, all right, Hollister in, Metcalf, Lockett, Carson. Here we go. 1 back, 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers. 2nd goal from the 1-yard line, 15 seconds left. And they head it to Carson, and he runs through. And that is going to be a touchdown. Touchdown, Seattle Seahawks. Great run there for Chris Carson, his 5th of the season. 75-yard scoring drive, 8 minutes, 1 second on 14 plays. A lot of that big pass down the middle to DJ Metcalf from MVP candidate Russell Wilson. And the extra point is good. And we have a tie ball game. And I know we are playing some football, but I know you guys are the fight fans in here. I think everybody's the fight fans in there. What do you guys think about Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua too? Do you think Anthony Joshua underestimated him the first time? Do you think he was sick like they said? Do you think it'll be a mistake, Andy Ruiz, dropping down 10, 15 pounds? I'm very curious to see what happens in that fight. 11 seconds left here in the first quarter. 7-7 ball game. Seahawks will kick off to the Vikings coming up here. And Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll celebrating over there on the sidelines. All right, and here we go, the kickoff. And Vikings are going to let it go into the back of the end zone. Russie has had a good year, but what Lamar and Baltimore has been doing, beating some of the best teams. That guy is absolutely amazing. LaVar's Jackson, I mean, and he beat Russell Wilson in their head-to-head. I mean, he beat him thoroughly. The Seahawks defense just could not control that guy. I mean, and I don't know if there's a lot of teams that can control that guy. I mean, he's a one-man animal. Vikings, hand off to Cook, who had a good first, some good plays during their first outage. 4 yards right there, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. At the end of one, Seahawks 7, Vikings 7. And, of course, Seattle Seahawks football. What's going on? Billy Hughes in the house. Land of 1,000. Wait. Are you rooting for the Minnesota Vikings? What's going on there, Billy? How dare you? I'm gonna push a pin in a John Elway poster again. Good to see you, my friend. How you been? You know, Billy, if you want to call in and bail me out here, I'm not doing so well. No, I think I'm doing okay, but it's always easier with you in here. I know it kind of sucked having a few weeks where we didn't have any MMA. There wasn't much for boxing and stuff. I'm on break. You're still on break? How long you been on break for? No, I was on break for a while, but I got to tell you guys, even though, I missed the fighting, that was the best part of it. Oh, break at work. I got you. Hey, don't waste your whole break on us, but hey, I appreciate you stopping in. Thanks, Billy. Yeah, no, it was a much needed break, and I think we all kind of needed to miss MMA again. It was when you start to take it for granted when you have a fight week every single week, and it'll be good to get back in there. Overeem and Rosenstruck coming up this next week, and I believe, do you remember, Billy? I'm going to look it up, but Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua too, I think it's on it, like some crazy ass time. Oh, well, it's on DAZN, so I guess I should look it up on DAZN. I think it might be at like freaking 3 in the morning or something. I hope it's not. Or 7 in the morning, something like that. 2nd and 6 here for the Minnesota Vikings. Cousins fakes the handoff, and he circles around. He's getting flushed out. He's going to have to throw it away. No receivers. Yeah, in the morning. I'm trying to figure out exactly. I'm going to go to the schedule. Going to the DAZN schedule right now. So, there you go. You have the main event and undercard starting at 9 a.m. So the main event won't be happening until at least noon. So I would say even like 1 or 2. Honestly, guys. So I think that's very doable. All right, Kirk Cousins back, 3rd and 6, and he finds a receiver. Number 33, Diggs, once again, digging him out of trouble. Excuse me, Delvin Cook. Now, and he gets the first down and about 3 more. I don't know about AJ versus Ruiz. Interesting. AJ should be the stronger, bigger fighter. But who knows? He got KO'd last time. Yeah, that's true. And Ruiz... Mike Tyson came out and said he thinks it's a mistake Ruiz dropping that weight. And the pitch, wow, great defensive play by the Seahawks. Pushing it back for a loss, but there is a flag on the play. 2 events in one day. I am packed, plus all jam. in one jam-packed day, plus all the college football conference championships games. Holding on the Vikings, number 65, Pat Elfin. So where are you working, Billy? If I go in there, can I order a beer? Maybe he doesn't want to let us know. 1st and 20 here for the Vikings after a 10-yard penalty. Good chance for the Seahawks to get the ball back. All right. I won't push you on it. You can tell me off air later if you want. But, all right, here we go. Cousins back over the middle, finds a receiver. Number 14, that was Stephon Diggs, but he only gets about 4 yards there. So we're looking at about 2nd and 16. So much more rushing this season, and that has resulted in Kirk Cousins throwing 21 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. Who would have thought Kirk Cousins would be having a season like that ever? 5 yards on that last play, 2nd and 15 for the Vikings. 13-15 left here in the second. Cousins back. Rush coming. He finds a receiver. Finds Diggs once again. But that's maybe another 5 yards. We'll be looking at 3rd and 8. So not even 5. Just a couple yards there. And now is when this Seahawks crowd is going to go crazy. You're going to have Clowney pressuring Cousins. This is a huge play here. 3rd and 8. Tight end Rudolph and receivers Johnson, Treadwell, and Diggs in for the Minnesota Vikings. 3 wide. And they fake the pass. And he almost gets sacked, but finds number 81. And they stop him just past the line of scrimmage. Great defense by the Legion of Boom 2, I'm dubbing them, Seattle Seahawks. That's right, Legion of Boom is back. I think we got a lot of really good players on this defense and young players again. Just want to say I announced Cowboy versus Connor Facebook group 4 months ago. Yes, you did. And inside sources actually came through. Nice. Got to let me know about some of those inside sources, Billy. All right, David Moore will be the returner here, number 83 for the Seahawks. Not Lockett. For once they're, taking a little bit of Lockett's pressure off of him. And Moore's going to take it from about the 12 to the 22-yard line. That's where the Seahawks will take over. 22-yard line, 11:33 left in the second quarter. And, feel free to leave your phone playing so I can get the watch time, Billy. No. I'm just kidding. We're going to have to get together to do some more things, though. Yeah, I am well rested after having, several weeks of, pretty much nothing. Not much MMA going on. And then Joshua, or Ortiz versus Wilder. But I did just the main event. And I'll tell you guys, it was just long enough to really miss this. I feel like I was able to really get rested lately. I feel sharper. And I was afraid that I was getting to the point that I wasn't going to be excited when the next MMA event came on. And then I'd be going through the motions. And I really didn't want it to feel like a job. So I'm actually thankful for the weeks off. And who else thinks Rosenstruck upsets Alistair Overeem next week? Or do you guys think Overeem gets it done? That's a great card, by the way. Contact Wildman Thompson Denny, ex-MMA fighter, top coach in Denver. Yes, scoops way before anyone else. Nice. No, he will talk to you for sure, and he fought Nick Diaz in Elite XC. I thought that name sounded familiar. He was just on Ariel Helwani, super recently, actually, I think. he was on the Early Hawani show. So, yeah, he should definitely do this one. Wanted Conor versus Justin. You think Conor McGregor's going to fight Justin Gaethje? Nobody wants any part of Justin Gaethje. And now I feel bad. You got a cluster. You know what? Again, now the clusterfuck that was at 155 has just morphed into a double cluster at 155 and 170. Because now you have Conor fighting Masvidal at 170. You have Masvidal, maybe, the most exciting guy, I think, at 170 pounds. Maybe the best guy at 170 pounds, saying he doesn't even care about a title shot right now. You have Leon Edwards getting almost zero credit right now. That's possibly the guy that could beat Masvidal. And he is on a terrific streak. And then you have Justin Gaethje, who kind of gets pushed out of the picture here a little bit. And Wilson handing it off to Penny for about 2 yards. That's going to be about 2nd and 2, 11:25 left in the second quarter. But, I mean, who does Gaethje fight right now? I would love to see Gaethje versus Masvidal. But I'll tell you what, guys, so many names are being thrown out there for Masvidal. GSP's name's been thrown out there for a super fight against Jorge Masvidal. Chael Sonnen actually just dropped a video on that today. 2nd and 8 here for the Seattle Seahawks. 10:52 left in the second quarter. And Russell Wilson back. Oh, and he threads that one to Hollister. There was, coverage in the middle. I think blocked his vision. But he did put that where only Hollister could get to it. I think Wilson, he would like to have that one back. Or Hollister would like to have that one back to reel it in. Gaethje versus Kevin. Oh, and March. Bank on it. I think you're probably right, Billy, because who else are those guys going to fight right now? I mean, who else is Gaethje going to fight? Or who else is Lee going to fight at 155? In a jam-packed division, for once, everybody's kind of booked up. Wilson back. Over the middle, there he finds number 48, Hollister, who's going to be just short of the third down, and they're going to have to make a decision about fourth here. You're going to have fourth and maybe a foot, depending on where they mark the ball. 4th and 1 here. Do they go for it or do they punt? They are going to punt. They're too far on their side of the field to go for it right now. 4th and 1. Yeah, I think you're right, though, Billy. I mean, unless something, was to, knock on wood, stop Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov for a 6th time. Is this the 5th time this has been scheduled, or has it been canceled 5 times? I lose track, I'll tell you. I am looking forward to that fight in April, though. All right, and Seattle Seahawks punt it to the Vikings, and Kirk Cousins will take the field here once again. T. Wood versus Jorge is a good match. It would be interesting for sure. To see if he could walk through T. Wood's right hand because he likes to press. I don't know that Tyron Woodley really wants to fight again. If he does, I could kind of see him picking and choosing an opponent, maybe trying to get one retirement fight. I think Tyron Woodley's got too many other things going on right now. And speaking of a guy having a lot going on right now, my friend Sam Alvey, with his podcast, working on a lot of things that he'll be on the show. I know he wants to announce some of himself, talk about some of himself, but he's working on a lot of things. I've been encouraging him to diversify himself past fighting for a little while now, and I think I kind of upset him because I wasn't trying to say he was washed up or that he should stop fighting. I was just saying, I like to see guys have some diversification when they're done. I wish I had some diversification to get out of retail. Watch for Jan Blachowicz versus Corey Anderson on the March card. If I'm Corey Anderson, listen here for a minute. I was not on the Corey Anderson bandwagon. I thought Johnny Walker was going to wax him. If I'm Corey Anderson, if I don't get the next title shot, I'm with him in retiring or leaving to Bellator. What the hell does this guy have to do? He's on a huge winning streak. He beats, the biggest prospect, probably in the light heavyweight division. Everybody knew, even though he's only ranked number 11, everybody knew that if Johnny Walker won that fight, he was getting the next shot at the title. Corey Anderson knocks him out emphatically, and of course it becomes Dominic Reyes. That's fine. Dominic Reyes is undefeated, more than worthy of a shot. But if not Corey Anderson next, then who? Tell me who, after Dominic Reyes, is more deserving of a title shot than Corey Anderson. If you say Jan Blachowicz, I don't think he is. And there's a run from Calvin Cook, gets tripped up, but he's going to get about 5 yards there on the first down. 9:40 here left in the second quarter. Seahawks playoff position. They lead the NFC West 2 seed. With win, they lead the NFC West, and they have a 2 seed. With a loss, they would drop all the way to a 6 seed. So, what a huge game for the Seattle Seahawks. Kirk Cousins back, and he finds a receiver. Good defense there from the Seahawks, holding him from a first down. But Diggs, they're going to say a 1st and 10. I thought he put that ball out of bounds. I didn't think he had it at all. He hasn't KO'd anyone in 2 years. Just not entertaining. Well, I was talking all kinds of smack about him too, but he did the thing. He did the thing that was asked of him. And there's going to be a challenge from Pete Carroll, and that's not surprising to me. I thought that was at least a yard short for the first down. I think that's a good challenge by Pete Carroll. I mean, now I may see it from a different angle and think differently. Oh, yeah, he definitely touches the ball out of bounds. You can't do that. That's exactly what I thought we'd seen. He's a yard off for sure. Ryan Bader's about to be a free agent. Does UFC bring him back? Depends on where he wants to be. I think he wants to fight at light heavyweight. Well, even at light heavyweight, there's nobody at light heavyweight. I mean, there is. That division is growing, and I shouldn't say there's nobody at light heavyweight. There's about to be nobody at heavyweight. And Rosenstruck, he may be part of the next wave, but he can't do it all on his own. Him and Francis Ngannou, I would say, are the new wave. Rosenstruck just knocked out Andrei Arlovsky. If he knocks out Overeem, then I think he'll get, he's going to get a top-ranked fighter, and he's calling for Francis Ngannou. And how crazy is that? Nobody is asking to fight Francis Ngannou. I mean, the guy doesn't have a title. I mean, if he's the champion, it makes sense. It's like wanting to be the guy that fights Mike Tyson back in the day right after he gets out of jail. No title or anything. Just jump in there and fight Mike Tyson. Have fun with that. Rumble Johnson is going to ruin him. Going to run the heavyweight division. Run. He very well may, Billy. But how do you think he handles Francis Ngannou, though? I would say it comes down between Rumble and Ngannou. And Ngannou has been calling Alexander Volkov out. That fight's been almost made a couple times. That may end up being the next fight for him. I mean, if Ngannou wants it and he wants the fight, I think the UFC is going to go to Alexander Volkov and saying, hey, you take this fight or, that's your freebie. It's kind of said that you get one pass. You get one pass where it brings you a fight and you say, hey, I don't like this fight. I'm not going to take it. And he may take his one pass on that. Let's sleep on Jared Rosholt from PFL. He is a world crusher. Oh my God. Jared Rosholt. He could get $1 million. Billy, he could get $1 million this New Year's Eve because Jared Rosholt was the only one not on steroids. They don't even test him. They just look at his low energy and fat belly. Oh, nice. Oh, and on 3rd and 1, after the Seahawks win the challenge, Cousins over the middle to number 30 Ham, and he gets the first down. You know, the Seahawks maybe put a little bit of kink in the cog with the Vikings there, but Ham just shut it right down there. Hollins, Diggs, and Rudolph in for the Vikings. He's going to pitch it back. And great defense. Seahawks are able to stop Cook there for no gain or less than about 2 yards, they're going to say. Predator is going to take over. I would love to see Rumble against Francis Ngannou. PFL does fold. I hope Lance Palmer, Kayla Harrison, Ray Cooper III, and Vinny Magalhães join the UFC. I agree with you. I just don't see them going another season after this. They would have to really shake things up. I don't think they're doing good. I haven't seen all the numbers. Cousins back. Finds number 84, Smith, and he gets smashed by number 37, Diggs. Wow, big hit there. Bobby Wagner in on the play. And like I said, they are, wow. Oh, that might have been a helmet-to-helmet, too. I think he might have gotten away with one. But this Seattle defense, they are mean again. They are mean. They are enthusiastic. They are after it. They are making quarterbacks shake in their boots again. And Cousins back, and that pocket is caving quickly. He's going to have to throw it away to avoid the sack. Great pressure here by the Seahawks, and that's going to force 4th and 2. Great play by the defense. Oh, wow. Look at number 94 there. Goes one way and then just turns the other. Almost gets the quarterback. Just pushes his blocker off of him. Britton Colquitt will punt for the Minnesota Vikings. Returning will be number 83, David Moore for the Seahawks. PFL folds will bolster UFC and Bellator. Top fighters from PFL, so that helps those two. Plus, one will get some fighters too, I bet. Oh, for sure. What's going on, Robert? Yeah, for sure. Whoa! Wow, that is a bad bounce. Good bounce for the Vikings. Bad for the Seahawks. They're going to down at about the 7-yard line. Russell Wilson versus the Vikings. 5-0 record, 9 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. Monday Night Football. Oh, and they are having a big sale. They're talking about a big sale over at Domino's. 50% off. What the fook? I mean, what the food, guys, you know you want some pizza and you know you want some beer with it. If you're in Washington, California, or any other awesome state, they can bring you beer with your food. So order pizza and beer. I did it from Pizza Hut. I did it once, just a 6-pack of beer, just to order pizza and beer. It's pretty awesome. Even though I could have gone to the pizza place or ordered, myself that day, I wanted them to bring me some beer. So use our code over there at Grubhub and save $12 off your first order of $20 or more. And that's really incredible, guys. I mean, Joe Rogan's doing DoorDash. I said before, $5. $5 you get for that. Grubhub, I'll get you 12. Joe got you 5. Use Grubhub and ask Joe Rogan what he did with your $7. What better than pizza and beer brought to you? For sure, man. For sure. Actually, my wife cooked a nice homemade roast, but I don't know if anybody would deliver you roast. That's roast and potatoes. I will take that over pizza, but that's roast and beer at that point. There you go, Robert. You know, I was reading an article, Robert, and I don't smoke weed. I can't. I'm tested against it. It's just not worth it because it's not worth it to get into it now when I'm tested for it and I could lose my job. But I was reading about different strands, and there was one of them they were saying it's like basically like an energy drink that never stops. I didn't realize about the different strands, difference between sativa and different things. Now I understand why some people are productive maybe and some people are just bums. Here goes Chris Carson through the middle, and he gets the first down and about another 5. And that'll get Russell Wilson's back away from the end zone. When do you switch to Saturdays off? I will work this Saturday, then my Saturdays are free, my friend. I am very excited. So yes, thanks for reminding me, guys. After this next Saturday, I will be off every Friday and Saturday. Switch my routes at work, so we're going to see some more of those long streams where you do the prelims. Hopefully lots of trivia on there. Don't forget about Tuesday trivia, MMA trivia tomorrow. Just brought it back for a fourth season, excuse me. Last Tuesday. And Billy won once again. He is playing again somebody's got to stop this guy. One of you guys, I know one of you guys can stop him. What about Robert Christian? Same 2 days for me as well. Beautiful. It must be meant to be then, Billy. Wilson over the top, batted down, up in the air. It's intercepted by the Vikings to the 10. And number 41 in the end zone, touchdown Vikings. What a play by the Minnesota Vikings, batting the ball up in the air. And a great job by them of being able to come down with it. Wow, and even Wilson's trying to knock it down there. Harris. Let's watch that replay again. Watts, number 96 defender for the Vikings, tips it. Wilson tips it up in the air, keeps it alive. And Russell Wilson actually tips his own ball to number 41 for the touchdown. Wow. And bad luck for Wilson. I mean, who would have thought he'd have batted it up to the other team? I was just trying to knock it down, obviously. Knocked it up in the air. Every time Russell Wilson touches the ball, he can't help but get it in the end zone. This time for the other team, though. Head back. I'll be done in 90 minutes. So I'll be back for the fourth quarter. Nice. All right. See you then, Billy. Thanks for coming in, sir. Yeah, that was harsh, 7. That was harsh. Wilson swatting it up in the air to the other team. I mean, that's just a bad bounce, but that's the way it is. Sativa and indica. Sativa for energy, indica for lazy chilling. Huh. So what about the THC strand? Excuse me, not the THC. What about the CBD without the THC strands in it? Do any of those cause energy, or are they just for inflammation? I'm legitimately curious. And the Vikings are going to kick it into the end zone. Seahawks are going to take it out. And Harris on the return gets it to about the 26-yard line. 5:03 left in the second. Seahawks at Saints versus the Falcons versus the Rams. This is San Francisco. And then week 17, it could come down to the Seahawks and the Niners. If Seahawks win tonight, both teams are 10-2. Seahawks have the tiebreaker so far, but they will play one more time this season, the final week of the season. What a great way they set that up. Wilson back, fakes the handoff, going to air it up, and he finds DJ Metcalf at midfield all the way to the 48-yard line, and Wilson running and gunning now. This is when he does his best. He's got that 2-minute offense look in his eye, even though there's a little, almost 5 minutes left in the quarter. Great play there from Russell Wilson. And great run there for DJ Metcalf. Man, what? DK Metcalf, excuse me. And Wilson going to hand it off to Carson. Gets just about 3 yards there maybe. And look at a 2nd and 7. 4:15 left in the second quarter. 9 rushes, 33 yards. Doesn't sound like a lot, but 3.7 yard average for Chris Carson and a touchdown. Just busy workmanship. And they were showing earlier his numbers this season have stacked up favorably with Marshawn Lynch in some of his best seasons. Number 20, Rashad Penny on the outside, almost gets the first down. Yeah, I was just curious, Robert. Yeah, I never have either, but I was curious on this thing I was reading. And they were talking about, strands with less or no THC in there for different energy and stuff. So, I don't know. Might just be a waste of good weed without THC in it, though, right? 2 tight ends in, 1 receiver and the running back here for the Seahawks. Hollister and Swoop in at tight end. Turner, number 17, at wide receiver. And Wilson, wow, great play there. Fakes the handoff, and he finds Hollister for about 18 yards there. Wilson brings in 2 tight ends and the running back. Oh, and he sells the fake. Over the middle, great catch there from Hollister. Has to extend a little bit on the jump. Great completion there, Wilson to Hollister. And Seahawks on the 28-yard line. 3 minutes left here in the half. Wilson goes around, and he is getting flushed out. He's going to have to slide for about a 2-yard gain. Couldn't find a receiver. That pocket closed quickly. 2:45 left here in the second quarter. 2nd and 7. .230 left. Wilson, he is dangerous in this 2-minute offense. And 28 yards out of the end zone, he's going to... he gets the handout to Penny, who gets a first down and about 5 more. Rashad Penny having his best game in a long time. Another first down there, number 20. Let's watch this play, number 76. Great block. Oh, and a beautiful cut there from Penny on the inside. Just when, maybe Penny went back to the basics. Maybe he's been studying the film. I called him a north and south runner that didn't get behind his blockers. And here he is, getting behind that beautiful block, cutting, slicing the defense. 2-minute warning. Monday Night Football out of CenturyLink Field. And guys, I was talking about, diversifying yourself, diversifying your future. Fighters need to diversify our future. All of us need to diversify our future. And guys, over at Robinhood, they have us hooked up for a little bit longer. Not only do they have free trading, now they have real-time trading for just $5 a month. I used to trade with E-Trade all the time, $10 per trade. Now Robinhood has real-time trading for $5 a month on their premium plan. Same-day trading for free, and they're going to start you off with a free stock. They started me off with a free stock, young David, Billy. Several other of you have gotten stocks on here. I know this has been the most lucrative sponsorship we've had on the channel because it's just so easy. So all people have to do is take the free stock, and I get a free stock. It's the best way to support the channel. Outside of just Super Chat. And this doesn't cost you anything. Some people do use it for inflammation and anxiety, but I've never heard for energy. Yeah, I was just reading some crazy blog, Robert. People can write whatever they want on the internet, so, who knows? Oh, wow, Deion Sanders he is looking old. How old is Deion Sanders? He aged quickly. How old is Deion Sanders? 52. Okay, that sounds about right, yeah? He looks like he's at least 62. I hate to say that. I was a huge Deion Sanders fan. And getting closer here to the halftime. And 52 isn't your father's 52. It's not what it used to be, but it doesn't, he was not wearing that well in that picture. And Sanders to Hollister, Wilson to Hollister on the outside. Great job by the Vikings defense. No gain there. Maybe a yard. 1:45 left in the half. 2nd and 9 here for the Seahawks. And I have a feeling that's about 9 and 2.5 feet. Hollister, Metcalf, Gordon, and Lockett all in to catch the ball. Penny in at running back. 3 wides, a tight end, and a running back. And Wilson back from about the 11-yard line. He gets flushed out of the pocket. Throws to the end zone. Little high for Penny. He throws it where only he can get it, but if that had been Metcalf, that might have been a touchdown. $68. Oh, he got hit in the face mask there, number 55. I'm not going to complain, though, because a lot of people were complaining about all the flags and penalties the first 5-6 weeks, and the NFL seems to have responded. They seem to be letting them play much, much more. Jerry Springer looks 50. Oh, Jerry Springer 68. Oh, okay. Yeah, Jerry Springer's old as hell. And the Vikings 8-3, so they can tie the Packers tonight, and they will face the Lions, Chargers, Packers, and Bears to round off the season. Packers will face the Redskins, Bears, Vikings, and Lions. So that Week 16 head-to-head matchup could decide that division as well. But for Minnesota first, you have to win tonight, I think, to have a chance of getting the division from Green Bay. If you're Seattle, if you want to take the division away from San Francisco, you probably got to win here. Third and 9. Russell back, pressured, finds some time. Oh! And in and out of the hands of Lockett. Great defense there for Minnesota, making it really hard for Wilson to find a target, and it looks like they're going to have to kick a field goal. 4th and 9 for the Seahawks with 1 minute and 2 seconds left in the half. Wow, great play by Smith to knock the ball away at the last second. And number 5, Jason Myers, there kicks the 29-yard field goal, and that's going to make it 14-10. Minnesota will get the ball back with 58 seconds left in the half. All right. 14-10 Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, I remember Jerry Springer's back on TV. He's doing like some judge show. That guy is crazy as hell. That show was nuts, man. It's amazing to think that that show was ever was on TV for as long as it was. All right. 14-10. The kickoff here from the Seahawks. That's going to go into the back of the end zone for a touchback. 58 seconds left, and we'll see what Kirk Cousins can do with that. Russell Wilson, 10 for 15, 98 yards, and an interception. Kirk Cousins, 10 for 12, 89 yards. No touchdowns for either gentleman, but Wilson has thrown the interception. So very much a running and defensive game so far. 2 receivers in, Johnson and Diggs, 2 tight ends, and the running back from Minnesota. Cousins back, and great defensive play there from number 54 to pop the ball out. Almost caused another pop fly type play for an interception, but nobody was around it. All right, just 4 people watching. Hang with me, guys. Killing my watch time. No, it's okay. I took some time off. People forgot about us. All right, Cousins back. Gets the handoff to number 33, who's spinning through the defense. 9 yards on 2nd and 10. This is going to be 3rd and a short 1. Huge play there with 35 seconds left in the second quarter. This is a big play right here. Seahawks. Oh, and it looks like they're going to give him the first down. Seahawks try to stop him. Hit him at the line, but Minnesota calls a timeout. 26 seconds left in the second, 1st and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings. And Jadeveon Clowney, he's been double teamed all night. Almost knocks the ball down there from Cousins, but he has put a lot of pressure on Kirk Cousins. But Minnesota double teaming him has opened it up for for some other guys on the outside. Some of these other defenders. 17 snaps, just 1 tackle tonight for Clowney. The stats don't show the impact he's had, though. 1st and 10 here for the Minnesota Vikings. Ball on the 45-yard line, 26 seconds left in the second quarter. Cousins back. And he throws a bullet over the middle to 14. Diggs, but he misses. 2nd and 10, 22 seconds left in the half. Oh, and Diggs, he could have had that. I don't know if I could say he should have had it, because it would have been a great catch, but Cousins really disappointed on that one. And that was the first pass attempt for more than 5 yards downfield tonight. Kirk Cousins usually, and there he throws about a 5-yard screen pass over the middle to 33, and he fumbles it, but Minnesota gets the ball back. Are they going to say that was a fumble? No, they're going to say he was down, and the clock is running. If you're Minnesota, 3, 2. Wow, and big mistake here by the Vikings. If they were planning on doing anything, they let the clock go down to 2 seconds before they call a timeout. And, that essentially, they are not within field goal range. Oh, and the Seahawks definitely did cause a fumble here. That's a fumble. Jadeveon Clowney, just as I was saying, he's been having a hard time getting in there. But number 65, Elflein, for the Minnesota Vikings, jumps on that one and recovers the ball. So they're saying 12 seconds back on the game clock and from the spot of the fumble, which gave Minnesota about another 6-7 yards. Oh, no, they're taking it back to the spot of the fumble. Because of the timeout, nobody challenged it. So, okay. Minnesota has the ball at midfield. 12 seconds left in this half. Kirk Cousins is going to have to pass for more than 5 yards here. He's back. Over the middle to 40. And he's going to run out of bounds. Rudolph with 7 seconds left. And that gets him to about the 38. This would be a 55-yarder. Dan Bailey's career long is 56. So he's got it. Ball on 39-yard line. So that's at 49. So I guess it'd be a 56. Big play here. 7 seconds left. Kirk Cousins over the middle. Finds number 14 Diggs inside the 30. With 1 second left. Minnesota is well within field goal range. And this really, this first half, Russell Wilson's going to really be thinking, I think, about popping that ball up in the air and that interception. Because if Bailey's able to hit this field goal, they will go in up by a touchdown. 47-yard attempt here. They're playing in CenturyLink, which is an outdoor stadium. And that's good by a mile. Perfect down the middle. 17-10, Minnesota Vikings. Seahawks are a second half team, though. We don't want to sleep on them. We don't want to sleep on them, but for those who are in, we got to check out this UFC card coming up this week. Because they took a couple of weeks off. This is going to be pretty dang good. Don't forget the return of Mike Brown. The return of Mike Brown against Killa B. Saunders. Scott F., good to see you, man. Hey, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. It's a good game. Tough game. Couple of weird plays, weird bounce there for the Seahawks. In Minnesota, they've really played good defense, though. They played well. They played well for the most part on the offensive side of the ball as well. All right, let's look at this card coming up. And like I said, I'm going to call it right now. It's all over. Alistair Overeem this Saturday takes on Rosenstruck. But guys, I'm telling you right now, Josino Rosenstruck, he's going to knock Alistair Overeem out. And I think he does it inside of 2. Stefan Struve coming back from a short-lived retirement. He's taking on Ben Rothwell. Aspen Ladd makes her return. She's taking on Yana Kunitskaya. Cody Stamen takes on Song Yadong. Those are some great fights right there. Let's look at, and Cynthia Covillo going in against Marina Rodriguez. But let's look at this main card so far. At bantamweight, Cody Stamen and Song Yadong. That's a great fight right there. Yana Kunitskaya, she's a tough girl, tough survivor. Has a great ground game, taking on Aspen Ladd, who's, she's a queen on the ground. She's a very good fighter. And then Stefan Struve versus Ben Rothwell. I think that's a very interesting fight as well. And then Overeem versus Rosenstruck. I mean, anything can happen when it comes to Overeem. I think it's Rosenstruck's time, though. I think he knocks Alistair Overeem out. And then you have Bryce Mitchell versus Matt Sales at featherweight. That's a sleeper fight. Thiago Alves taking on Tim Means. Tim Means coming in about a 2.5 to 1 favorite in that one. And then prospects Ricky Simon and Rob Font getting it on. How about that? Two guys that both have really exciting fighting styles. Getting it on. Great matchmaking there. I would say Font's got to be favored in that one, but it's still a very interesting fight. Yeah, PBR is the man. Coming through earlier with the big $10 donation. And nothing to write home about on the early prelims once again. 3 fights there. Matt Wyman against, he has not fought a lot in the last few years, taking on Joe Selecki. But I think that's pretty much it in the early prelims. But the prelims and the main card have a lot to talk about. Cavill versus Rodriguez is a good one. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a sleeper fight too, Robert. All right, and here we go. Chris Berman here breaking down the half. The king of the rumbling, fumbling, stumbling. Man, I am so excited getting to playoff football here, though. And let's watch the replay. Lavarius Jackson yesterday just doing what Lavarius Jackson does. This guy is absolutely incredible. Niners are playing better than they have in years. I didn't end up getting to watch that game, but actually comes down to the final play, 49-yard field goal for the Ravens, and I'm very happy about that. Both teams going to 10-2, but I'm happy because that means if my Seahawks are able to pull it off tonight, they're tied 10-2. And Kansas City just devastating the Raiders, 40-9. My God. If Struve doesn't learn how to use his jab and reach, he will get KO'd again. Guys, frustrating. I hear you, man. And, I mean, Ben Rothwell, I like Big Ben, but that dude is about as slow as they come. I mean, they should call the guy Frankenstein. I mean, he's like a mummy just coming forward. I mean, the guy looks like he's literally in slow motion all the time. But he's got power. And sometimes he finds the chin. So. And Titans beating up on the Colts 31-17. Yesterday, Eagles and Dolphins. And a game of not very good teams. Especially the 2-9 and the Dolphins pull it off 3-9. Fitzpatrick 365 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Wow, you go to the Rams and Cardinals and LA just putting it on them 34-7. Ugly game. Wow, and the Redskins 2-9 against the Panthers 29-21 here. Wow. Are you kidding me? The Redskins beat the Panthers? I think I actually feel a little sorry for Carson Palmer for once. That is devastating. I mean, that team is horrible. And a team of maybe the 2 best 4-7 teams ever, Buccaneers and Jaguars. Buccaneers come up with a win 28-11. And there's Billy's Broncos going against the LA Chargers, beating them 23-20, setting up the game-winning field goal on a pass interference call. Wow, and I have not heard that name with positive put behind it for a long time. Andy Dalton. First win of the season for the Cincinnati Bengals. 0-11 coming into that one. Andy Dalton comes in and gets a victory for him. Struve is 6'11", his best punch should be... Oh, absolutely. The jab and that front kick. The guy likes to fight inside. He likes to fight inside and he likes to fight on the ground. He likes to pull guard. It's crazy. It's crazy that he fights that. It's crazy he hasn't had a bunch of knee injuries getting taken down as well. But I'm trying to think of what his record is. He's still fairly young, retired once. I'm pretty sure he's had quite a few fights, though. I gotta look this up, where Stefan Struve is. Yeah, he's just 31 years old. Yeah, and he has 40 fights, 29-11. But he has been knocked out 7 times, and he is facing a guy with devastating knockout power, even if you can't see it coming from a mile away. $18 submissions in his 29 wins. Guy likes to choke people out on the ground. It's a strange strategy, but it's worked for him. He's won 75% of his fights. All right, guys, a halftime almost over, so I'm going to put up quarter 3 here, because after the commercial break here, we're going to go into the third quarter. I'm going to see if I can get a walkout time for Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, and I think I can do that, because DraftKings will show the estimated walkout times. They get it from the commissions. For every fighter on all the UFC cards. So hopefully they should have it for this boxing match as well. But I really hope we can do that in the UFC. That would be great. I mean, I would have loved to even catch KSW on top of it, but I don't think that's going to happen. And odds coming into the rematch, look at this. Anthony Joshua minus 230 favored in the rematch to get his title back. Andy Ruiz a plus 170. So you have a chance once again to make some money on Andy Ruiz. And scheduled walkout time for Andy Ruiz Jr. and Anthony Joshua this Saturday is at noon. I can make that, and I will. So there we go. This Saturday, Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, followed by a big UFC card. Crazy could be a very good striker, front kicks and knees, and hard straight jabs. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. He sleeps on it, though. These games are so long. Game started at 5:15. It's going to be a 2-hour first half. And point fight and win every time. Well, here's the thing with that reach, like a Tommy Hearns, like a Nick and Nate Diaz, and like a Deontay Wilder. There's a lot of power on the end of those long punches. A la Muhammad Ali. I mean, if you can get guys on the end of those long punches, you can knock people out. All right, starting the third quarter, Seahawks will be kicking off to the Vikings. The 8-3 Minnesota Vikings lead 17-10. Jason Myers with the kickoff there, and they're going to let that go through the back of the end zone. Minnesota will take over on the 25-yard line. And Minnesota saying they'd like to run the ball a little better to open up the play-action pass. I thought Seattle ran the ball fairly well. They just, that turnover, that big turnover was the difference maker in that, and they gave up 2 big plays on that first outing against Minnesota as well. And Kirk Cousins, with all the time in the world, wow, finds number 83, Tyler Conklin. Just about 4 yards there. Though, that's it. Not a lot of yardage. Cousins way back. Three yards. It is crazy. And point fight and win every fight. I just read that. Conklin, the tight end, wide receivers Johnson and Diggs hand the running back in for Minnesota. And that play collapses on Minnesota. Nothing there. 195 passes since the last interception for Kirk Cousins. Last Viking to go that far was the great Warren Moon. That's a name I haven't heard in a while, but wow, wasn't he great. 2 tight ends, Smith Jr. and Rudolph in for Minnesota. 2 receivers, Johnson and Diggs. Cook back in at running back. And here comes the Seattle defense, and it's down. The ball's down. It's a fumble. And Minnesota recovers it, but it's about the 6-yard line, 4th down, and the Minnesota Vikings will be kicking that out of their end zone. You could see Seattle's defense was not going to be denied right there. They brought the game. They were robbing the whole bank. And look at number 91, Reed. That's actually a forward pass. And then it's batted in the air by Griffin. So if you watch that, that's not a fumble. Minnesota should challenge this. This is a big field position issue here, and they may challenge it. So call the fumble. So let's watch it. They are going to challenge it. I think it's an incomplete forward pass, and I think that makes about 10 yards difference from where the Vikings are kicking. I think that's worth the challenge there. And it doesn't go unnoticed, at least by me. The refereeing in these games lately. Much better job by these NFL referees. They are not calling a lot of frivolous fouls and things. They're overturning, a lot of the calls that they do get wrong on, some tough judgment calls. And for once, I have very little to complain about their refereeing lately. But this one should get overturned, I believe. Ruling on the field is a fumble for the Minnesota Vikings, but I believe that will be overturned, and that was actually a forward pass from Kirk Cousins and will be overturned to an incomplete pass. And the Seahawks, if I'm Pete Carroll right now, I'm on the sideline. I'm not worrying about what the answer to this is. I'm drawing up plays right now because you're about to get the ball back. And there we go. Call reversed. I think that's the right call. They're going to say it was an incomplete pass. 4th and 6 for the Minnesota Vikings. Great play by Reed either way. He throws Cousins' hand off balance and keeps him from being able to throw the pass. And 4th and 6, either way, Minnesota will be kicking it out of close to their end zone here. Well, huge difference here. Spotted on about the 28-yard line compared to about the 5. And here you go. Fair catch for the Seahawks there, number 28, more. So, and Russell Wilson will take the ball at his own 28-yard line after this commercial break. And guys, I don't know if you guys have been watching it lately, but from Stephen King and our sponsor Hulu, Castle Rock. This has been an absolute great series. If you watch Misery, it's a prequel actually. It takes Annie from Misery and just a genius plotline, I think. I thought the first season was great. I've enjoyed this second season even more than the first. But I think just great plot line, genius writing, and genius directing from J.J. Abrams. I think they hit it out of the park with that one. Castle Rock, of course, the city where all Stephen King's novels are based in. Guys, it's definitely worth a watch. I don't have a promo code for you right now. They are giving the money directly to you. It's a direct sponsorship, but I believe they are still doing it on a Black Friday. Go to Hulu and take their free trial, and you can get it for an entire year for 99 cents a month. I mean, that's really, a home run play. They're losing a lot of money in doing that, and they are getting a lot of content right now. And for some reason you don't already have Hulu, 99 cents a month is absolutely insane for an entire year. All right. Russell Wilson pumping up the troops here. He says, confidence, belief, no fear. 13:22 left here in the third quarter. 1st and 10. Carson, Hollister, Metcalf, and Brown. 2 receivers, a tight end, and a running back here on this play. Caitlin Vera looks like a nice bet on the December 14th card against Aldana. I'll have to check that one out. I do like the way she fights. Wilson, the handoff to Carson. Carson making a few moves there. Gets just about 3 yards, though. Of course, key play of the game was the bat of the pitch from Russell Wilson, and he bats up his own pass in the air off of that. Ends up being an interception for a touchdown. Worst possible result there for Russell Wilson. 2nd and 7, and Wilson's going to hand it off to Carson, fakes the pass, and on 2nd and 7, looks like he might have gotten the first down. No, it's number 65. Number 65, Barr, in there with him. 12:20 left here in the third quarter. 95 yards rushing, 97 yards passing. Balanced attack by the Seahawks. 36 plays, 20 rush, and 16 pass. 12 minutes left in the third quarter. And Wilson back. He's going to fake the handoff, and he gets time over the middle and almost intercepted. He overthrows Tyler Lockett. Wow, Lockett. Let's watch Lockett run there. It looked like he was open for a minute, and then the defenders come, and wow, great job of batting it out of the air, actually, by number 41, Harris. He had the interception earlier. Tyler Lockett tonight's been targeted twice, but has not had a reception. 2nd and 10 here for the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson back. That's a completion to Hollister, and that's going to be real close to a first down, about 3rd and 1. Jacob Hollister, 4 receptions, 33 yards. Nothing big, but just moving the ball. This is not a big yardage game, though. Carson in at running back, Hollister in again at tight end. 3 receivers, Lockett, Gordon, and Metcalf. And Wilson audibles at the line. He's got time, and he finds a receiver. DK Metcalf for about 8 yards. So 1st and 10. Beautiful catch. And just a picture-perfect spiral there from Russell Wilson. And And Seahawks in Vikings territory in the 47-yard line. And he passes it off to Carson. They are not buying the fake. Wilson tried to throw it that was a fake and he was going to pass. But they followed it the whole way. Flag on the play. Oh, and number 29 swings Carson around. An extra time. Out of bounds. And Carson might have sold that one a little bit too. But Xavier Rhodes with the unnecessary roughness there. And you can't throw a guy after you're already out of bounds, though. I know it was instinct. I don't think he was malicious. He was trying to finish the play. But you got to stop it. 10 defensive penalties, tied for most in the NFL. Rob Iman, how you doing, my friend? I seen the Iman report here recently. Carson running up the middle to the 20, to the 10. Inside the 5, Chris Carson with a power run. First and goal, Seattle Seahawks with 10:20 in the third, and this Century League Stadium is going nuts. Getting off of work. This is late to be getting off. Billy said he would be getting off about the fourth quarter, though. I would say you guys work too late, but, I got to be up at 3 in the morning, so maybe I work too early. Whatever happened to 9 to 5? You know the old song. Seems like if you're working a 9, you're working 9 to 9 now. And Rashad Penny up the middle. And he's going to get it to about 3 inches. Just a few inches short of the goal line. Second and goal. Just inches here for the Seahawks. Also had to run errands. I hear you. Always, man. Always got errands to run. And there you go. Less than a foot away from the end zone from the Seattle Seahawks on second and goal. Seahawks offense, 8 touchdowns from 6 OL formations, most in the NFL. And they're going to hand it off to Rashad Penny, who runs it into the end zone. And that is a touchdown for Rashad Penny, and we have a tie ball game. 17-17. It's a very exciting game. The extra point is good, and the Vikings will get the ball back with 9:02 left in the third, but the Seattle Seahawks tie it up at 17-17. Come on, Minnesota. You're a Minnesota guy, Rob? Are you from Minnesota or just a Minnesota fan? Don't tell me you don't like the Seahawks. Don't tell me you're just rooting against my Seahawks. All right. We are having a very fun rivalry with you. I think I remember that now, Rob. That rivalry with the Niners, it's back on again, so heated, like it was, back 5-7 years ago. It makes me a Niner fan to the point that I just want to see those two teams play every week. I can't wait till week 17. That's going to be a hell of a game. And with a win tonight, from the Seahawks, they're both tied at 10-2. Rivalry will never go away. It's fun when both teams are right there in the cusp of it, though. Both teams 10-2. Couple of the best teams in the NFL, though. I mean, I don't know. Lavarius Jackson, he might just beat the entire league by himself. That guy's absolutely nuts. I mean, he beat us a few weeks ago. I know, it was a close game yesterday. You guys against Baltimore and won by 3. But that guy is something special. I don't want to play him again. Ever. He might be the MVP this season in his rookie year. But yeah, I hope whatever happens, I hope week 17, Rob, that we're going for whoever wins that game wins the division. Like you're speaking a foreign language to me. Hey, I hear. Well, hey, that makes it mean that much more that you're hanging out, PBR Street Gang. I appreciate you. Kirk Cousins 0-7 on Monday Night Football. I think that's more of a. Wow, I don't know what that is. That's just bad. Russell Wilson 8-2 on Monday Night Football. I was gonna say Kirk Cousins. Maybe that's a product of playing on some bad teams, but 7 times. I mean, if you're the losing quarterback all 7 times, I mean, that's got to say a little bit about you, right? And Seahawks are going to kick it off to Minnesota. They're going to take it out of the end zone here. And to the 20, about the 21-yard line. 8:56 left here in the third quarter. You'll learn, PBR. We'll get you up. It's like MMA with 22 people. Kind of. Basically, 11 guys on each side are trying to kill each other to keep one ball from crossing a line. And here we go. 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receiver set, Johnson and Diggs. In here for the Vikings, Conklin and Smith Jr. And a fumble, and the Seahawks have it! Number 30, Bradley McDougall. And he's going to take it in the house to celebrate. The play is over. But this Seattle Seahawks team, they want to go get their selfie with the crowd. And this is kind of the new thing the NFL has allowed for celebrating. Look at, it's number 98, Green, that strips it. And number 30, McDougall comes up with it. Oh, and he was already, it was kind of, didn't have the best grip on the ball, did Cooks, and Green sees that. And he just jabs the ball, knocks it out. McDougall comes up with it. Huge turnover. Yeah, I would suggest the Seahawks, PBR. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, pick a local team or just some players you like or something. And it's so fun, like a new sport when everything's new. It's exciting anyways, but when everything's new for you, or even when you haven't watched it for a while, like I took a little time away from football, and you come back and it's just that much better. Cook and Diggs both hurt. Yeah, they did both look hurt. That's not a good look for them, Scott. But yeah, that's a big turnover. Each team has a turnover now. Of course, the Vikings have the touchdown on their turnover. We'll see what the Seahawks are able to do with this fumble. But I got to say, Seahawks being a fourth quarter team, I like their chances. Oh, and they're showing the new Whopper meal, or new Whopper deal. I should say 2 for $10. 2 meals for $10. They're just trying to make us fat, aren't they? I'll tell you what, if you are going to order some food, though, guys, Grubhub, don't get up. Don't stop watching the game. And definitely don't put your beer down. Get some more. Grubhub will bring you pizza and beer, and they'll take $12 off your first order of $20 or more with our code. Guys, they're practically paying you to eat and drink. I mean, $12 off a $20 order. See, like $8 for $20 worth of food, that's nothing. Use our code now and get you some pizza and beer. What are you waiting for? All right, a little bit of break here, but Russell Wilson did not get much of a break. It's going to be just that short commercial break for him and an injury timeout for the Vikings. You got to hope that everybody's okay. Never want to see these young guys get injured. Number 33, Cook and Diggs. They're both walking, so that's a good sign. Seahawks are going to take the ball over at the Vikings' 28-yard line and toss to Carson from Wilson, and he looks a little unsure of where he's going. It looked like he needed a GPS there for a minute. Carson gets about 2 yards out of it. Whoa, and some miscommunication between the Vikings. They're showing that play where both players got hurt, and ouch. But great fumble recovery. Oh, and Cook going into the locker room. Like I said, you really hope he's okay. You root for a team, but you never root for it. At least I don't. You never root for anybody to get hurt. 3 receivers in. Wilson sells the fake, but throws the pass to Carson, who's close to a first down. Gets it to about the 3rd and 1. 7:50 left in the third quarter. Here on Monday Night Football, Vikings, Seahawks 17 apiece. And Diggs is coming back in. Cook is questionable. They're saying there might be an issue with the shoulder. Wow. Hard to say whether he would be back in or not. And Rashad Penny coming in, and he gets the penny. That's all they needed, 1 yard. And he gets the push in there for the first down, 1st and 10. 7:10 left in the third quarter. And this Seahawks offensive line and offense is starting to wear this Vikings defense down. Shock Chris Peterson resigned. I was surprised as well. Penny at running back again. Hollister at tight end. Moore, Gordon, and Lockett all at wide receiver. And Wilson fakes fakes the handoff. Finds Hollister, but just for about maybe 2 yards, 2-3 yards. Seahawks have been very heavy on Carson most of this season. And they've used Rashad Penny a lot more this game. I'm not sure if there's a strategy to that. Carson did have a little issue holding on to the ball again the last week he played, so maybe that's part of it. Second and 7 here for the Seahawks on the 12-yard line. Wilson back, and he overthrows his target, number 83, David Moore. 3rd and 7 here for the Seahawks. And you would really like to get a touchdown here. And they're going to talk it over. We'll see. And 3 receiver set again. This time Moore, Turner, and Lockett. Metcalf out. Hollister at tight end. Penny in once again at running back. Wilson back, and he is pressured out of the pocket. Throws to the end zone, but nobody there. Great defense by the Viking. That's going to bring Vikings It's going to bring up 4th and 7, and the Seahawks will send out the field goal team. 5:49 left in the third quarter. Great defensive stance here for the Minnesota Vikings. Puts the pressure on. Russell Wilson still almost finds more. He was defended well, but almost right through his hands. What's up, Mark Rowe? Good to see you. What's going on, my friend? Rumors of Lockett's having the flu seems substantiated by his lack of production. Oh, I hadn't heard those rumors, but yeah, he is. He's not been. I was wondering why he wasn't doing punt and kickoff returns either. Moore's been doing that, and Moore's been in receiving a lot too. So that makes a lot more sense. I wasn't aware of that. So you look at division leaders. You got in the NFC. You got the Niners and the Saints at 10-2. The Packers at 9-3. Cowboys still in it at 6-6. The two wild cards right now would be the Hawks 9-2 and the Vikings 8-3. Pat's loss, not a happy camper. Well, you know, you've got a lot to cheer about over the years. I think you guys aren't too used to losing. I think you guys are going to be just fine. You got probably the best quarterback to ever play. And Tupa looks like he hurt himself on that play. But Jason Myers will kick another field goal. 29-yard attempt here. And that's an easy one. Seahawks go up 20-17 with 5:46 left in the third quarter. And just as I was saying, they are really taking a lot of time to play. 2 hours in now. They ate up that third quarter pretty quickly. Losing is hard when you win all the time. Oh, I feel so bad for you, Mark Rowe. we are 9-2 though. Hopefully, if we come out of this 10-2, that's a pretty good record. Were the Patriots 10-2 as well? Correct? Yeah, 10-2. The Bills are only a game. The Bills, the Buffalo Bills. When was the last time we said the Buffalo Bills were 9-3? I think Jim Kelly was under center. I mean, I'm sure he wasn't, but it seems like it seems like it. It's been a long, long time since the Buffalo Bills have been anything but horrible. All right, quick break here. Minnesota will take the ball back over Kirk Cousins. We'll see if he can answer here to Russell Wilson. But like I was saying earlier, 0-7 on Monday Night Football. Maybe you played on some bad teams, but when you're 0-7 on Monday night, at a certain point, you probably got to take a little bit of the responsibility for that. I mean, I don't think it was your team every time. And if it was partially your team, yeah, you got to take a little bit of credit for being the quarterback. Russell Wilson looking to go 10-2 on Monday night. And Pac-12 championship game this Friday. Number 14 Oregon Ducks against a number 6 Utah. All right, Seahawks up 20-17 will kick off to the Vikings here with 5:46 left in the third. And Myers is going to kick it up there, and they are going to decide to run it out. And the Seahawks come running themselves back to the 21-yard line, though. It's always so violent, though. It looks so violent when everybody's coming at this guy that's trying to return the ball. I got to tell you, the last job I would probably want, definitely in football, maybe in all of sports, is the kickoff or punt returner. It's just a scary, scary job. It's like you have something and 11 people are trying to rob you and kill you. All right, here we go. Minnesota Vikings. Cousins fakes the run and incomplete over the middle to number 81 Johnson. Good defense there by Bobby Wagner breaking up the play. Bobby Wagner, a holdover from the old Legion of Boom. And they are rebuilding this defense quickly. I mean, this is becoming the Legion of Boom 2. Very quickly, because two of the members of the first one are still there. Seahawks bringing the rush. And a screen pass number 25, and he's going to run it for about 15 yards there. Alexander Madison just kind of disappears in the crowd right there. Look at the center and the right guard get their blocks, and he hides right behind the center, gets the pass. I mean, the good job, or the good thing about catching a pass right behind your center is you got an automatic block there. Nothing going on there for the Vikings. Seahawks shut them down on that play. 2nd and 10. 4:50 left in the third. Alexander Madison, 3rd round pick in 2019 draft out of Boise State. Had a pretty good season for a 3rd round pick. Seahawks rushing the line, and there's the false start. This Seattle crowd, known as the loudest in the league, and they've caused a lot of false starts. They cause another false start there on Josh Klein. It would be 2nd and 15 for the Vikings. And there's the decibel meter, 90, just went over 99. And Seahawks rushing the line here. They are bringing that. They batted it up in the air. And that'll be incomplete again. 3rd and 15 for the Minnesota Vikings. And that was number 94, Onksa, batting the ball down there. And everyone is on their feet here at Qwest Field for this on 3rd and 15. Vikings with the ball in the 33, and they bring the rush once again. Cousins completes a pass. Can he get through? And they're able to stop him well short of the first down, though. That's going to be about 4th and 5, and that is going to force the Minnesota Vikings to punt. 3:40 left in the third. Another great defensive stand for the Seattle Seahawks. Three punts so far, their average of 46 yards apiece for Britton Colquitt. Standard job by him for a punter. And the snap. No Lockett receiving tonight. As we learned from the Eyman report, Tyler Lockett nursing a flu. 3,062 passing yards. 8th straight 3,000 passing yard and winning record season. Only 2 other quarterbacks ever to do that, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Wow. And this is just the 8th season of Russell Wilson's career. 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, one of those in this game. And he's going to hand it off to Chris Carson, who's going to churn up about 6 yards there. Maybe 7. 2nd and 3rd for the Seahawks. 2:40 left in the 3rd. And this Seahawks team, they just beat you up. They beat you up running the ball. They beat you up on defense. 3 wide receiver set here, though. Metcalf, Brown, and Lockett. Carson in again at running back. No tight ends. And Vikings rushing the line. Carson going to run it, and he gets the 3 yards for the first down. Good run there for Carson as the 3rd quarter goes down under 2 minutes. Yeah, he floats for another yard after he gets tackled too. And this Vikings defense has been the best in the league this year against the rush. Just 94 yards a game. They've given up 140 so far in this game through not even 3 quarters. And Seattle will call their first time out here. Oops. $129 left in the 3rd quarter. $80 yards and a touchdown tonight from Chris Carson. Rashad Penny throwing in 46 yards on the ground and 20 yards receiving. Oh, and Wilson sells the fake on the handoff there. Finds number 18, Brown, for 6-yard reception. 2nd and 4. Hey, Mark, by the way, if you face us in the Super Bowl, I don't think the Patriots match up well against us. Just putting that out there. All right, 3 receiver set again. Metcalf back in, Brown and Lockett. Carson in it. And Carson running it. He's running out of room. That's going to be a loss on 2nd and 4. Loss of maybe 2. $40 seconds left in the 3rd. Going to be 3rd and 5, so loss of a yard. It'll be interesting to see what they come up with on this. I'm thinking pass play. You got 3 receivers in and Hollister back in at tight end. Metcalf and Lockett. Which means you probably pass it to Moore. And he is airing it up. And he finds number 83 Moore inside the 10. And that is a touchdown. And this Seattle crowd going crazy for that one. Seahawks with another touchdown, 60-yard TD reception, David Moore. And what did I say? Did I call it? Sometimes, a broken clock's right even twice a day. I said they got Lockett and they got Metcalf in, so watch him go for more, and there's 60-yard touchdown. Right over the top. Beautiful pass and reception for the Seattle Seahawks. And that's going to bring it to 27-17 Seattle Seahawks. And look at that. Just a beautiful play there by Moore. Nobody around him. Beautiful. And Pete Carroll jumping around on the sideline, oldest coach in the NFL, one of the most energetic. And Xavier Rhodes not having a good night tonight. Been thrown at 4 times, giving up 99 yards, a touchdown, and a 15-yard penalty. Yeah, he is not a happy gentleman over there on the Minnesota sideline. And Seattle will kick it out of the back of the end zone. Vikings will take over with 5 seconds left in the third, down by 10 points. Just a beautiful play there, Wilson to Moore. And I don't know who lost their assignment on Moore there. Maybe somebody doubled up on Metcalf. 5 seconds left here in the third. Will Vikings do something with it? Cousins back. And he's going to air it up and completely overthrow. Number 82, that's the end of the third quarter. Seahawks 27-17, scoring on 4 consecutive drives. And you see Rhodes' frustration as he throws his helmet into the ground there. Guys, coming up this Saturday, the heavyweight championship of the world is on the line. WBA and IBF champion Andy Ruiz Jr. takes on the man he took the title from, Anthony Joshua from Saudi Arabia. Should be an incredible match. They are scheduled to step into the ring about noon Pacific time, 3 Eastern. Then after that, about 3 Pacific, 4 Pacific, UFC starts with a great card. Andrei Arlovsky versus Rosenstruck. Return of Tim Means. A lot of good fights on that card. And a great doubleheader on that fight card as well. But right now, Seahawks 27-17, and the Minnesota Vikings have got to find an answer against a Seahawks team that just gets better as the game goes deeper. And I decided to try this YouTube TV thing out there. Not a sponsor, but for anybody that's interested, they're giving away 3 free weeks for Cyber Monday. I don't know if they're doing it past today, but right now, if you want to try it out, 3 free weeks, YouTube TV. It's got a lot of channels, a lot of cool stuff. So especially if you got a little vacation time or something, Might be something to check out. All right, start of the fourth quarter. And Cousins getting pressured to the interception. Number 21, Trey Flowers rips it out of the hand of Minnesota, scores the touchdown, and throws the ball into the crowd. 5 seconds into the fourth quarter. Trey Flowers. Referees are trying to figure out what in the world just happened. Number 14, Diggs, bobbles the pass, and Flowers just says, I'll take that. And they're going to say the runner was ruled down by contact because he dove and touched the defender, but it will be an interception. 25-yard line. That looks like a good call. Wow, great play there from Trey Flowers, though. Let's watch the replay on that. Again, Diggs just in and out of his hands, and Flowers just, he is not going to mess around. He says, you don't want that ball. You're going to sit there. You know, you're going to sit there and give it foreplay. I'm going to take it to the house. All right, 8 people back in here watching. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, give me a thumbs up, guys. I know not a lot of people watching. But pitch back to Rashad Penny. And he's going to run it down the sideline to a first down. Or real close to a first down here for the Seattle Seahawks. He runs it out of bounds. Yep, there's a 10-yard run. First and 10 Seahawks. Now, Rashad Penny is best when you use him in there. Pass it to him sometimes. Just throw him in and out, alternating with Chris Carson. I think he can be valuable the way they're using him. It's just not an all-time starting back, I don't believe. And Wilson hands it off. Just a couple yards there for Penny. Second and 8. 14 minutes left in this game. And they show that replay. Again, Wilson to Moore. And he just burns Rhodes. All right, Hollister back in. Metcalf, Gordon, Lockett. Oh, Wilson's going to throw it left to Penny, and Penny runs it up the center and into the end zone. Rashad Penny. Beautiful cut. Catches the ball one way, runs the other. Slices through the defense for 13 yards and a touchdown. Who am I going for? Angel? I don't know. I don't really care who wins. Good question. Thank you, everybody, for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Got us up to 15 there. And I think we had more on the initial stream. I was streaming on... I was streaming over there on MMA with Friends, but... Wow. Finally, some people came over here. I probably would have gotten more on MMA with Friends, but that's fine. 13:30 left here in the fourth quarter. Seahawks up 34-17. And we'll see what Minnesota is able to do on the next set of plays. But if they haven't scored by 8 o'clock, I might call this one early, boys. I got to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. But huge playoff implications. And Rob Iman, we're coming for your Niners. Week 17. I can't wait. I say both of our teams, I say we're both 13-2 when we face each other in Week 17. And then Mark Rowe, the winner, I think the winner of that faces the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And you guys tried this Impossible Whopper? I remember those veggie burgers like back in the day. They're like frozen veggie burgers. What if this entire... See, they're only selling these in stores. Or in restaurants, excuse me. Now, I'm not saying this is what I think's happening. But would it not be the most incredible punk of all time if all these Impossible Burgers were actually just meat? And they were just punking everybody the whole time. You know how much money they're making? I mean, they just had a huge IPO. They're making money hand over fist. And what if the whole time they were just giving people beef and saying it was vegetables? I might even actually have to respect the hustle. I guess unless you're vegan, then you're pretty pissed. All right, and then switch it. Fourth quarter here. Seahawks up 34-17. They have outscored the Vikings 24-0 here in the second half. And Seahawks kicking it off. 13:30 left in this game. And that's going to go to the back of the end zone. Russell excited on Mike there on the sideline, to say the least. And the signs, Russ for MVP. I don't know. He's gonna have a tough argument from Lavarius Jackson. Cousins back, has some time. Throws a drunk duck into the hands of number 14, Diggs, and that's going to be incomplete. 13:26 left in the fourth quarter. Vikings started this off on fire. First drive, 83 yards, 7 points. Just walked down the field. Since then, they've had just 128 yards. 3 points on offense. And the screen pass to number 29, and that gets them inside or past the 40-yard line. Great screen pass there. 16-yard completion, 13:05 left in the game. You see the second half total yards, though. 172-47 in favor of the Seahawks. Cousins running on the outside. He's going to throw it up big, wide open. Wow. Juan Treadwell. Who in the hell was guarding that guy? Laquan Treadwell, 58-yard touchdown reception. Wow. McDougal goes to double team another guy, goes off of his man, and just gives up a freebie to Treadwell. What a horrible defensive task there. But great job for Treadwell. Does what he should do. 3 plays, 75 yards, and 41 seconds. What's up, CJ Loa? Seahawks, yep, back to a 10-point game, though. Just like that, 41 seconds. Vikings come back and score. And Billy was saying he might show up here in the fourth quarter when he's done at work. So we'll see. You in here, Billy? 7 watching. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please hit that thumbs up button if you like what I do here. And Minnesota Vikings pulling... Oh, I put 20. They pull within 10. That's actually supposed to be 24. So, 10-point ball game. Seahawks will have the ball with the lead here, though, with about 13 minutes left to go in the game. And Billy's about to come in. What happened with the Broncos? Did the Denver Broncos win?
The Broncos narrowly defeated the Chargers by a
score. Oh, that's right. They did beat the Chargers by 3. I was thinking they might have lost by 3. Seahawks 10-2, says NK Vlogs. What's up, NK Vlogs? Yeah, they're looking pretty good. Seahawks 10-2, Niners 10-2. I think that's going to come down to that Week 17 game. And I don't know what the tiebreaker... Well, tiebreaker usually is playing against each other, but if they have the same record and the Niners win, then I think you go to record against your division, and then tiebreaker after that, I think you go to points scored for the season. It's either points scored for the season or strength of schedule, but I think it's points scored for the season. Oh, and they're showing the Seattle Pinball Museum there. I've been there. If you're a fan of pinball and you're ever in Seattle, check it out. I highly recommend it. 12 minutes and 49 seconds left in this game. Seahawks up 34-24 after a Vikings score. 3 plays, 41 seconds. And Vikings are going to kick it out of the back of the end zone. And they're just talking about this Minnesota Vikings team can come back. They were down 20-0 against the Broncos. End up winning 27-23. So the Minnesota Vikings are not out of this at all. Seahawks ball on the 25-yard line. Wilson finds Metcalf on the outside. Little side route, just about maybe 3 yards there. And Russell Wilson says, you know, the great ones like you are, go and finish it. Let's go finish it. 2nd and 4 here for the Seattle Seahawks after, you know, a lackluster first half for Wilson. He's got 111 yards and 2 touchdowns in the second half. And Wilson back. He's going to hand it off to Rashad Penny, who's barely going to get to the line of scrimmage. That's going to make it 3rd and 4. Good defense there by the Minnesota Vikings. So he did get 2 yards, I guess, there. 3rd and 2. I didn't think he did. Seahawks offense has scored on all 5 of the last drives. Third and 2, big play here for both teams. 11:30 left in the game. Seahawks up 34-24. And Russell Wilson will have to call a timeout there. It's about to get a delay of game. I'm not sure what was going on there. I think there's a miscommunication between Wilson and Lockett as to what the play was. You see them talking it over, and I think Russell's going to change the idea of the play altogether. And back to the huddle. 3rd and 2, 11:23 left in the game. Big down here for both teams. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks on the 32-yard line. Wilson back. Oh, and it's incomplete to number 32, Rashad Penny. Great defense by the Vikings. Collapsed the pocket on Wilson and put some pressure on the throw there. And right up in Russell Wilson's face, Barr, number 55, gets in there and shuts Russell Wilson down. And Michael Dixon will have to punt. Oh, and a fake punt for the Seahawks, and they're going to run it! Number 25 gets the first down and about 10 more. Are you kidding me? Wow! 29-yard fake punt, and these Vikings did not expect it at all. Thrown completely off balance and a huge first down. Let's watch this again. Wow. And he hands it off to Homer, number 25, Homer. Wow. Pete Carolyn's enjoying that one, hugging his offensive coordinator there. Metcalf, Lockett, and Hollister in. Carson in the backfield. 10:25 left in the fourth. Wilson back, and he's going to air it up into coverage. Looking at Lockett, but he was double covered. Big, big play, and that's got to be so frustrating for the Minnesota Vikings after they had played so well on defense there. Metcalf, Gordon, and Lockett in on this one. Hollister in at tight end. And they're going to run Carson on 2nd and 10 for about 4 or 5 yards there. It's like it's going to be about a 3rd and 5 here for the Seahawks. And the only reason Seahawks have the ball right now, of course, was because of from a fake punt. 3rd and 6, actually. Number 25, a Homer with the run on the fake punt. And Stephen Weatherly, defensive end for the Minnesota Vikings, down on her knee. I think there might have been something in his eye. I'm not sure what was going on there, but it looks like an injury timeout for the Vikings. maybe just a poke in the eye or something. You look there, show division leaders, 10-2, Niners and Saints. Packers 9-3, Cowboys 6-6. The two wild cards on the outside are the Minnesota Vikings at 8-3, and the Seattle Seahawks 9-2. Who, with a win today, the Seahawks would be tied with the Niners for 10-2 for the division. With the Vikings with a win, would tie the Packers at 9-3 for that division. And here we go. Once again, Russell Wilson under center. 9:45 left in the fourth quarter. Three receiver set again. Wilson back. And he gets Metcalf and they knock it out and they fumble, and I think Minnesota's got the ball. Great defensive play by the Minnesota Vikings. Hits Metcalf and knocks the ball out. And they recover the fumble. So with 9 minutes and 31 seconds left, down by 10, the Vikings will take the ball over. Let's watch this again. Beautiful hit there. Wow, number 29 and number 45, Kendricks, were in on that one. And Rhodes, number 29, Rhodes. They're saying it's an incomplete pass. 1, 2. I think that's a fumble. I would challenge that. 1, 2, and a football move. That's very close. There it is. He catches it. 1. Oh. Very close. They are going to challenge that. I'm not sure. Now that I see that again, I'm not sure if it's a fumble or not. He's got to get 2 feet and a football move. Now, if he got hit as he's taking that second step, I got to see that again. Vikings challenge ruling on field of an incomplete pass. So, what do you guys think? Those of you that are watching, was that an incomplete pass? Was that a fumble? I'm unsure. I thought it was a fumble at first. I watched it again. I think it might have been an incomplete pass. How am I for linked up with you guys tonight? Am I ahead of anybody? I know that screws the game up for some people if you get way ahead. I think me and Billy had a really good stream going once, and then we were way ahead of people and we were ruining the game for them. Has anybody used any of these new VR systems, the Oculus or Hive or any of the other ones? I tried Oculus, about 2 years ago. It did seem pretty amazing at the time on one of those platforms at Best Buy. Got like an hour. All right, guys. Challenge timeout in between. Seahawks up 34-24 on the Vikings. Vikings challenging the incomplete pass on the field. They believe that Metcalf fumbled the ball, that they knocked it out. It's going to be a big field position difference. Seahawks would be able to get the ball back and punt it, and obviously, net whatever minus the return. Say fumble, says 7. That's what I said on the initial look too. I think it was probably a fumble. I think it might have been close enough that they may not overturn it, though. I want to see it again from another angle. Oh, and they gave it to the Vikings, so they're saying fumble. You are right, 7. All right. Kirk Cousins will get a chance to come back here. Cousins back on the 25-yard line and incomplete pass. There for Kirk Cousins. They're going to show the replay here. Metcalf catches it. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Definitely more than 2 steps in a football move. 1, 2. Yep, there it is. I think that's a great play. And Xavier Rhodes gets some redemption there. Remember, he's the one who blew the play on Moore. That was supposed to be his guy. Blew his assignment. Forces a fumble there. Cousins back. Pocket collapsing. And how in the world did he catch... Oh, my Lord. Are you kidding me? Ziggy Azza and just about every other Seahawks defender all over Cousins. And somehow Rudolph comes down with that ball. Not a beautiful looking play, but effective nonetheless. And Cousins throwing it down the field. Incomplete there. Overthrows Diggs. But great play before that by Kirk Cousins. 9:05 left here in the fourth quarter with major playoff implications in this game. 8-3 Vikings. If they win, they would be ties for the division with the Green Bay Packers. 9-3 Seahawks. If they win, 9-2 Seahawks. If they win, they would go to 10-2 and be tied for the division with the San Francisco 49ers. Cousins back. Pocket collapses. He's not able to get it out that time. Incomplete pass. 3rd and 10, 9:01 left in the game. And this is a big, big possession for the Vikings. I know they got the turnover, but they still want to get some points out of this. Vikings 4 of 8 for third downs today, and the decibel level is around 90, over 98 now here in Seattle. And they're going to run 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and Madison at running back here for the Vikings. And the Seahawks rush. Great defense there. What happened? I'm not sure what the flag is. It looks like it might be pass interference on the Seahawks. Diggs calling for the play for the call. Let's watch this again. Oh, he slows down and Flowers not able to stop in time, bumps him. He knew exactly what he was doing. Veteran move there by Diggs. Wow. Wow. Slick move by Diggs. Trey Flowers, not a whole lot he can do. 30-yard penalty. Just a huge play for the Vikings. And they're going to hand it down up the middle. And all the way to the 10-yard line. Spinning through number 25, Madison. And Vikings are within striking distance. What's up, Salty Pants? How's it going? 1st and goal for the Vikings. A pitch back to Madison again. And he's going to run through to about the 3-yard line. And this is going to be 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line, for the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings coming off a huge comeback win a few weeks ago. Oh, great defense there by the Seahawks. They just smashed him. Tackle for a loss and a huge 3rd and goal coming up for the Minnesota Vikings. So watch this tackle again. Matheson coming. And there it is. Number 90. Clowney, you could hear that hit, and he did not get the helmet-to-helmet too either. Vikings 7 plays, 69 yards, 2 minutes 5 seconds on this drive. Diggs and Johnson in, 2 tight ends, Boone at running back. 3rd and goal, Cousins back. They bring touchdown, Minnesota Vikings. Number 82, Kyle Rudolph, who had a huge play earlier. And the Minnesota Vikings are within a field goal. Wow, and KJ Wright, you cannot turn your back. KJ Wright, one of the holdovers from the old Legion of Boom. The only boom on that one was him getting scored on. And the extra point is missed, and that is a huge mistake for the Minnesota Vikings. Bailey kicks it left, and it is now a 4-point game. Oh, wow. So Vikings get the touchdown and the points they need, but miss the extra point. If anything, that could deflate the momentum of these Minnesota Vikings maybe a little bit. Russell Wilson. If there's any quarterback in the league you want to lead your team in a close game in the fourth quarter, I think it's Russell Wilson. But Kirk Cousins, man, has he surprised me. This guy is not the quarterback he was a few years ago. I mean, a few years ago, I wouldn't have had this guy start my college team. He has really blossomed this season. And the Vikings are going to kick it out of the back of the end zone. And they're showing Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins going at each other back in college. They have been rivalries for years. Wilson got the victory back then to go to the Rose Bowl. Will Kirk Cousins get his revenge tonight on Monday Night Football? Or will Russell Wilson put a sour taste in his mouth once more? 2 tight ends, Hollister and Swoops in. 2 receivers, Metcalf and Lockett, Penny in the backfield. Russell fakes the run, fakes the handoff, and he finds Hollister for about 8 yards. 2nd and 2. And this Seattle team is great at running time out with a lead. This is not a big lead, but you run the time off and then you score. 2nd and 2. You see Kirk Cousins pacing on the sideline. He just cannot wait to get back in this game. And here comes Russell. He's going to hand it off to Penny, who gets about 3 yards. Remember, Chris Carson not seeing a lot of these snaps probably late in this game because of a concern over turnovers. Sorry, guys. I thought I had another bottle of water in here. Oh, there we go. So I'm looking like a crazy person here. Six minutes left in the fourth. And Wilson going to hand it off again to Rashad Penny. They're being loyal to the run. And about maybe 2-3 yards there. And they are eating up the clock. 5:40 left in the game. 2nd and 6 for the Seattle Seahawks. And how big is that turnover on the fumble from Metcalf earlier? For one thing, it was a huge field position thing that ended up being a Minnesota touchdown. For another thing, it would have been the loss of a crucial timeout for Minnesota had they lost it. Wilson back. He's got all the time in the world. He's still going to get sacked. Russell Wilson loses his footing and loses about 20 yards on the play. What's up, Ordinary Pete? Rob Iman was saying, I guess Tyler Lockett was down with the flu. He has not been doing kickoff and punt returns either. Wow, this is painful to watch. Russell going back. And he just ends up losing his balance under the pressure. 4:20 left in this game. And 3rd and 19. So he didn't fall back as far as I thought he did. 9-yard loss, I guess. Or no, it was 2nd and 6, so 13-yard loss. And the Seahawks used their last timeout with 4:15 in the 4th. I think they might need that. And I know I've said this many times, but they're showing the NFC playoff picture. Niners 10-2. Packers 9-3. With a victory, the Vikings would be tied for the NFC North. Seahawks with a victory would be tied for the NFC West. Both teams are on the outside looking in from a wild card position at the moment. And Kirk Cousins staying warm on the sideline with a loss. The Seahawks, with a win, they lead the NFC West 2nd seed. With a loss, they drop to a 6th seed. And Wilson, with a pass to Metcalf, he runs along the outside. Not going to get a first down, but he is going to keep it in bounds. He needed 19 yards, unfortunately. Got about 15 of them back. And they're going to run as much time off this clock as they can, but they may wish that they had that timeout that they used a few plays back later on in the game. 3:45 left. Oh, was there a delay in game? I don't think so. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, because they called the timeout. There might have been almost a delay game. All right, 9 watching. Guys, if you like what I do, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, please hit that thumbs up button. Help me build my subscriber base over on this channel. I greatly appreciate that if you like what I do here. And I mean, we're getting into playoff football. Kirk Cousins, 13 career game-winning drives in the 4th quarter alone. Both of these quarterbacks have been two of, the best of their time to do it in the 4th quarter. They really have. And Kirk Cousins and Russell Wilson have been fighting back and forth in close games since college. Cousins back on the 10. Finds number 82 again. $19 yards for Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph, 4 receptions, 50 yards and a touchdown, but they have all been big receptions. 3 minutes left in the game. Cousins back, and he throws that one to nobody. 2nd and 10, but that will stop the clock. 3 minutes left in the game. I'm nervous, guys. I'm nervous. This is one of those heart-wrenching games. It's so close. Seahawks up 34-30. And now how big is that missed extra point by the Vikings on their last possession? A field goal would have tied it. Seahawks crowd as loud as ever. Cousins back. They bring the rush. He finds Madison, number 25, on a screen pass, who takes a big hit. But he's going to get 7 yards nonetheless. This is going to be 3rd and 3. And it's actually a Seahawk defender that's down. Number 94 is Ionza. Oh, you got to hope that he's okay. Let's watch the replay here. Onza kind of hits him in the back there. I don't really see anything that you can really point to. Ziggy Onza, first season with the Seahawks after 6 seasons with the Lions, and he's going to come out of this game. 3 hits on the quarterback tonight for him. And this decibel meter just reached over 99 here in Seattle at CenturyLink. Cousins has time, and the ball is tipped on 3rd and 3, and a big 4th down to come. Huge defensive play by the Seattle Seahawks. 2 minutes and 31 seconds left, and Kirk Cousins can just look to the replay, trying to see if there's something, trying to figure out what in the world happened. And what happened was KJ Wright came in and knocked your ball out of the air. And they're going to have to go for it on 4th and 3. This could be the game right here. 2:31 left in this game. Kirk Cousins back. An incomplete pass, number 36, King breaks it up, and the Seahawks will take over with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Now remember, the Vikings have all 3 of their timeouts. Seahawks have 0 timeouts. So a 3 and out, the Vikings can still get in there with plenty of time. Look for the Seahawks to run the ball and try to run this clock out. Very tight coverage there for the Hawks. Hard to argue the call, but yes, good stop. UFC, Ordinary Pete. UFC this Saturday. We got Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr. They're supposed to get in the ring about noon for the WBA and IBF heavyweight championships. Then we got a really good UFC. Seahawks 5-0 this season when game decided in the 4th quarter. And Carson's going to run it up the middle for about 5 yards. But remember, Chris Carson has fumbled a lot of balls at the beginning of this season and started to come back the last week. That's going to be a first of 3 timeouts for the Minnesota Vikings. 2nd and 4 for the Seattle Seahawks. And look at these guys, almost identical. Wilson 21 for 31, Cousins 22 for 38. Cousins with more yards, 276 to 240. Both men with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Wilson's been sacked twice, though. And Tito Ortiz is also fighting Saturday. Oh, I seen that. My God. Did you see Tito Ortiz the other day said he could beat John Jones? That guy is on all the crack. Talk about a tainted supplement. And Wilson's going to hand it off to Carson again and get it to about the 1 yard line. They are really putting a lot of faith in Chris Carson in a crucial time here. 2nd timeout used for Minnesota. 2:17 left in the game. Remember, they'll get one more at the 2-minute warning. But this is a huge 3rd down here for the Seahawks. The Vikings were able to stop them. They have plenty of time to mount a comeback. All right, another huge play in this heart-wrenching game. 3rd and 1 for the Seattle Seahawks. They're 3 for 4 on third downs in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 1, 2:17 left in the game. And Chris Carson through the middle, and he knocks down a couple more defensive players. You got to get a little nervous as he's taking these guys on, but 11 yards from Chris Carson, and that's going to take it to the 2-minute warning. First down, Seattle Seahawks. Huge play from Chris Carson. And the Minnesota Vikings have 2 minutes left to get the ball and score a touchdown. Don't forget, guys, Cyber Monday. If you need to go on Amazon, spend a bunch of money on things that you won't use in 2 weeks, you're running out of time. Or, guys, you know what? You could just not clutter your house with more crap. And order yourself a pizza and beer from Grubhub. $12 off your first order of $20 or more. With the MMA promo code right there in the comments. Pizza and beer. Beer not delivered in all states. During the 2-minute warning, I'll take this time to just give a reminder for all the sponsors on the show, all sponsors that I advertise for. I am financially compensated, either in cash or benefits. And Wilson and Cousins, they'll have the reaction on the rundown on ESPN after this. But what a battle between these two quarterbacks that, like I said, have been battling since college. And I know Thanksgiving is over, but you know what else I'm thankful for is these guys running the ball a lot in the third and fourth quarter, moving this time up, because I got to be up 3 a.m., 3:30, no later. You know what? No, I don't. I just realized I don't have to work tomorrow. I don't even know when I work. I just fumbled the ball. 2 minutes left. And Wilson can hand it off to Rashad Penny for about 4 yards. Good run there for Carson. And Carroll excited there. 2nd and 5, and the Vikings just called their final timeout. 1:55 left in this game. 103 rushing yards and a TD for Chris Carson tonight. Tied for most in the NFL with 7. And, let's think about the fact that he started out slow and Rashad Penny took a lot of the snaps tonight. That's pretty impressive. And Wilson is going to hand it off to Carson again there, and that's going to be a loss. And that's a big stop for the Vikings, putting that back to about 3rd and 8. And just when you think this game is over, something happens. There's another twist in the plot. 3rd and 7 here for the Seattle Seahawks. No. You got to look at where they're at on the field. Well, they're 19 yards away from a touchdown. And Wilson going to hand it off to Carson on the outside. That's a strange play at 3rd and 7, but I'm guessing the Seahawks, they're going to kick a field goal here, but they're going to let the clock run down a lot. They can run it down to about 20 seconds. 4th and 6. Jason Myers, 2 for 2 tonight on field goals. Both of them 29 yards, coincidentally. All right, 10 people watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me before we go. Greatly appreciate it. And the kick is up, and it is good. A 36-yard attempt, and the Seahawks go up 37-30, seemingly clinching this game for about, the 6th time. Every time I think the Seahawks have clinched this game, Kirk Cousins comes back and does something amazing, or the Minnesota defense. 21 seconds. The amount of time Kirk Cousins has to pull off a comeback against the Seattle Seahawks. What can you do in 21 seconds? I could probably eat a pizza in 21 seconds. I can definitely chug a beer in 21 seconds. Amir Abdullah. He will be returning. Kick returns average of 27.2. His long is 104. Obviously, that would do it. Oh, and they're going to skip kick it. And Ham going to run it to the middle of about the 30-yard line. And there might be a fumble. Seattle's saying they knocked the ball loose. And the Seahawks have the ball, and that is over. That is the end of it. The Seattle Seahawks finish this one off with a big fumble on the kickoff return. And the Seattle Seahawks move to 10-2 with a 37-30 win over the Minnesota Vikings. And what a season this is turning out to be. And especially the division, the Seattle Seahawks move into sole control of the NFC West, tied at 10-2 with the San Francisco 49ers. But remember, they own the tiebreaker. Great game, great win here for the Seattle Seahawks. Wow, great night, guys. Great game. In out until the last few minutes there of the fourth quarter. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And Kirk Cousins, unfortunately for him, poor guy, still winless on Monday Night Football. But thank you again for tuning in to Mike's Sports Experience. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, make sure and hit the thumbs up button on the way out. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Looking to build that subscriber count as always. Russell Wilson on best start since 2013. They just said, all right, guys, thank you again as always. I love you. I respect you. And guys, I will see your fine asses on Saturday for Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr. over on MMA with Friends. Have a good one.